Is a lot more to the discussion, you guys, concerning the intersectionality of religion and sexuality.
Mhm.
But listen, the Tie Squad, we like to hit it and quit it. We get our talking points and we moving on, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be here no 9, 10 hours, litigating my humanity. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Not Tyesse Jackson.
And I think, Tyesse, that was the thing that I think, and I sort of understand from watching, being a Tie Squad member and watching your platform, it sort of puts me in a position that people are in when they watch my platform. The people that follow us, they are very possessive and protective when it comes down to us. And I'm like, yo, it ain't that serious. It's all right. But because I watch your platform and I enjoy your platform, what I notice is that I have become possessive and protective. And when I was told, because I didn't see it, it just works out that most of the times he's on, I don't even know it. And then somebody come and tell me that he's on, then I know not to come over. And I'm gonna explain that. But I think it was me being overprotected and some own personal things that when I heard that he said what he said this last time, but I heard him say something prior to that. And I was like, okay, we're not even nowhere in the same world. Our audience is not the same audience. What we've been called to do is not the same. But I still enjoy relationship with people like that. But we just don't have those type of conversations. When I was told this last time, and I was live yesterday, and I said this at the end of my show, I said, well, I don't dislike Bishop Felton. I said, I just don't like that he said what he say concerning same gender loving people and sitting beside Tyesse. I think that's disrespectful. Then at the end, I said, you know what? I don't like him. And so for that reason, I just connected your live to my YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So that everybody can hear me say this as relates to what I said yesterday on my live, because I need to fix that.
Okay, and let me say this, Larry. This video was not in response to what you said yesterday. This video is in response to, I can show you the inboxes, the countless inboxes of emails that people, whenever there's a discussion concerning sexuality from my community, it's like, Tyesse, this is, hurtful stuff. And so this is not in response to what you said. This is in response to so many people, that feel a certain type of way about gay folks, LGBTQ folks, and many of us have healed from the church. And so sometimes it may feel like a scab is being removed, or people have got to the point now where they're like, well, I'm in a better place, Tyesse. And when I see stuff and I watch stuff, then it feels like, well, I'm going back to some of them old wounds. So I'm mindful of that. And so I wanted to speak to it today. But it's not a response, because you have your right to feel the way you feel about somebody that you're experiencing in a virtual space. Yeah. I can't dictate to my followers or nobody how they feel about somebody they're watching that I platform.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, well, you gotta like it. No, you don't have to. Yeah.
I didn't.
Sorry for interrupting.
I know you didn't interrupt me. I didn't think that your live was about my comment. I felt that it was because of what you're hearing back from your community. But I said to my community, who a small part watch you faithfully. So I wanted to say it to you on your platform. And like I said, I just connected it to my platform so that everybody hear me say that what I said yesterday about Bishop Felton, me saying I don't like him, I need to explain it. Okay. I do not like when people from the church speak negatively about women, their placement in the church, their leadership, whether they can be a bishop, an apostle, be over a man. I don't like that conversation. I don't like how they have conversations concerning gay people, gay being a sin, and
Mhm.
gay being evil and less than human, and then always connecting it to people that are sexually inappropriate and vulgar. I don't like that either. And I began to talk about Bishop Felton, and I said, it's not that I don't like him, but then by the end of the statement, I said, I don't like him. Let me explain that.
Okay.
I don't like people who take the Bible literally and then try to force feed it to everybody else. Not saying he did that.
Okay.
So, but from what I heard he said, and the times I was in the chat and heard what he said, it made me not like to listen to him. So when he's on your platform, I don't watch. I click off. I can sit there and have the conversation, but it's difficult for me to sit there and not say anything. And being that I am sapiosexual, meaning that I really connect with the conversation, the word of the intellect and knowledge, when he loses, and understand what I'm saying, because this is going to be taken wrong.
Take your time, Larry.
He loses, I lose attraction for him. So that's what I meant. Said I don't like him, because I lose attraction for someone when I realize that our quest and respect for history and knowledge is not the same and held in an unbiased place. So that makes me be like, okay, I don't really kick it with you. That don't mean I hate him. That don't mean that I think he's a horrible person. None of that. It's just hearing out one side of your mouth something from the Lord, then the next moment hearing something that you're saying that is anti-Lord, anti-God, speaking for God, but the next thing you saying a gay person can't hear from God. That's a lot for me to sit with. That does not mean that I think he's a horrible man. So when I said I didn't like him, it was more so I don't like what he represents in my world of work. He represents the kind of person that I'm trying to protect: women, gay people, and anybody who has any difference that the Bible doesn't back up those people. So that's what that was. It wasn't, hope it wasn't taken malicious and evil in heart. It was me doing my show, being funny, but at the same time, I felt like I needed to explain what I meant by I didn't like him.
Okay. And so the response that I came on today to respond to was specifically a lot of people had feedback, Larry, about I asked the question, can God talk through a gay person, or speak through a LGBTQ person? And Bishop Felton said emphatically no. And so a lot of people, push back on that, because a lot of people say, wait a minute, hold up. We have seen God speak through anybody and anything, any object. You could be at the beach and see something crawling on the beach, Larry, and feel God, and God can speak to you through nature, anything. Absolutely. But I think it's because people see LGBTQ people as very sinful or whatever. They just don't feel that God can operate in the vessel that is also same-sex attracted. And I understand that is, based on his biblical beliefs, and so.
And ain't nothing wrong with
it. I can't make him feel different, but I think a lot of people wanted me to really push back harder. But like, how can I make somebody that is a theologian change his stance when he believes that God is not can operate in a gay person?
But where does he get that from? What is there a scripture that he's standing on?
Well, we didn't expound upon. We didn't really go there. We didn't expound upon it any further.
But typically, when I'm talking to a Bible literalist, I want to hold them responsible the same way they like to hold us who's deconstructing. They like to hold us responsible what the Bible say. What the Bible say. Well, where in the Bible does it say that God cannot speak through explicitly now? The God cannot speak through a gay person. And let's classify the gay person as a sinner. So where in the Bible does it say, I want somebody to find it, that God is not going to speak through a sinner or a gay person? Explicitly, not implicitly. And even the scriptures you're going to pull that imply that in their proper context is not going to fit your narrative. So where is that at? I mean, if we're going to just take the Bible literally, where is that at literally? Where it says a gay person can't speak for God and God can't talk to them. Where did it?
I don't know of a specific reference in the scripture, Larry. No, I don't know any.
One.
But I'm sure that there is a scripture that the clergy use that can kind of bring it back that way. I'm pretty sure of it.
That's they use the scripture to imply that.
Okay.
I'm sorry to eat, but I got to eat. I'm hungry.
I already know. Well, there was a female pastor. I'm not going to say her name because we're sharing platforms right now. But there was a female pastor years ago on KJLH.
You can say her
name. Okay, not the singer, but it was Beverly Bam Crawford.
Okay,
Beverly Bam Crawford. She's a minister.
I know what it is,
and she's over here by me. And she was on KJLH, and every Sunday, I don't know what was going on during that era, Larry, but every Sunday on KJLH on the talk shows, they will be talking about gay folks in the church, and it's like every Sunday it was a topic on various shows on KJLH, and she was talking about homosexuality and stuff, and then she said she didn't agree with the lifestyle, she didn't agree with homosexuality. She said, but I don't hate nobody because it was a lesbian woman that brought me to Christ. And so I'm like, do these people hear that? Did she said it was a lesbian woman that brought her to Christ, but she don't. So it's so many things sometimes it's really antithetical. Like people believe gay folks can do this, they believe they can do that, but then there's always some type of cutoff, Larry, if you know what I mean. Well, this is where it stops, so it's a lot. And I just seen, two people talk about this donkey thing. They're fighting about God speaking through a donkey. Did he talk through the donkey? Was it a man's voice? It's like it's too much.
But even that's a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that God would rather speak through a donkey than speak through a gay person. That's what you want us to believe. And then how am I supposed to sit with that when it's time to listen to you preach? Because in my mind, I feel like you don't love nobody but straight black men and women. I don't feel like you love anybody or respect anybody. It reminds me of the oppressor, what he said about us. And, fifth part human. I think there's a problem with that statement that God cannot speak through a gay person. That's very problematic.
Okay.
Very. Because what is it saying about God? Either God is love or he ain't. And I do not know. And I do understand that this is centuries old conversation because there was what they used to call, and I'm going off my memory, y'all. It was called the 6 clobber passages. Somebody Google that or ChatGPT. That was always used before 1611 or ever since 1611, possibly before, to explain why homosexuality is wrong. And they would take these 6 passages of scripture and they would interpret that they mean that God hates homosexuality. Well, people begin to get smarter and they say these clobber passages aren't even talking about homosexuals explicitly. Y'all sort of playing with this text. So then in 1946, this is where it began. In 1946, they began to make some changes to the Bible like they have done over and over and over and over and over again. And one of the changes was a scripture in the New Testament that in our Bibles right now, it has the word homosexual. Depending on what version you have, but basically it implies that. But it's a mistranslation of the word malakoi. And there's a second word that I can't think of, but that ends in tight. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't want to say that and then everybody not sure on what I'm talking about. But when they interpreted the word, it was improper. The word is, here we go, malakoi, malakoi, and arsenokotai. And this is how you spell it, arsenokoitai. And scholars sit down and interpret that wrong, improperly. And
okay,
then,
so, Larry, not to interrupt you. So, Clout passages: Genesis, Exodus, Judges, 1 Samuel, Hosea, and Micah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Genesis, Leviticus, Romans, 1 Corinthians 6, and which is that's the text in the NIV that they interpreted and put the word homosexual when it says in 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 10, it says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God, but be not deceived, neither fornicators, idolaters, adulterers, or effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind." When they interpret that word effeminate, or some translations say Saul, that literally meant male prostitutes. So that when they began to research it, and some believed it was male prostitutes, some thought it was men that are seen as weak. And the other word, I think, that A word I told y'all about, that meaning was debated as well, because some believe it was homosexual. Some people believe it was pederasty or prostitution. But these translations, they never got it right, and they just put the word homosexual on it. But it got caught, and nobody would, if they hadn't found this sheet of paper, this letter that was written by this other scholar to the people who was changing it to the word homosexual, who changed it to the word homosexual, there would be no proof of this mistranslation. But they found the letter, and they found it and put this in the library, where they told them that if you make this translation the word homosexual, you are going to destroy the lives of millions of people who are same-sex identifying. But they did it anyway. So the word homosexual was never in our original Bibles. It was put in there to replace effeminate. Okay. And people just don't. That is, you can't be educated and not know this. I was talking about this before it became a movie, because now it is actually a movie that everybody can go watch. It's called The Mistranslation of 1946 or 7 that changed the culture, or something like that. I remember when it came out, I bought it and gave it to all my members so that they could watch. But it gives you step by step, better than what I just done, because I'm going off the top of my head. They'll give you step by step of how this mistranslation happened. And it literally caused millions of people to be marginalized. They caught the mistake, they just never switched it back. So in addition to those 6 clobber scriptures against homosexuality that they used for I don't know how many years, then when they replaced one of the words with homosexual in the 40s, that was it. Wow. After that, gays are sin, gays going to hell. It really became a dangerous thing, because people use religion to war against certain things. And since then, the gay community, LGBTQAI plus community, has been under, or in rather, a war with everybody else in the religious context. So that for me, because I'm very clear on that, before I was able to articulate it the way that I'm halfway doing now, because I am eating. But I already know it. And plus, James Cleveland, Donna McClurkin. This is me not saying this. This is a Tyesse platform, but it's streaming on mine too. we know these people are gay, but our worship Do you know the church could not be the church without gays and girls?
I said that before we link channels. I was talking about that, Larry. Like I don't know how gay has become synonymous, with some of the things that has been synonymous with the church, when gays and women are really some of the foundations and pillars of the Black church, especially from a music standpoint, from a standpoint of financial
Preaching.
viability, preaching.
I bet preachers are same gender loving.
So it is bananas. But at some point, we're gonna have to have a major conversation. If not, we're never going to get to a place where people can at least understand some of the semantics of this. Like, I don't know if it's going to work, Larry. Like, do we need to have a United Nations level conversation around sexuality and religion and spirituality?
We do, and the Bible needs to be rewritten. And people hate when I say that.
Yeah, they're going to clip that. They're going to clip that, Larry, what you just said. They're going to clip it.
Tyesse.
They clip it.
It's been rewritten 159,000 times. One more time ain't gonna hurt nobody.
They're going to clip it. You just went viral.
Well, one more time it been written. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. What we need to collectively agree on is that the Bible is wrong when it says homosexual is listed like one of the sins you won't go to heaven for. Gay is not a sin. I want to be very clear. Being gay is not a sin, just like being straight is not a sin. The sin comes in, well, what you do with your straight and what you do with your gay.
Okay.
Well, you need to just disappear, and we need to all come to that and quit playing with each other. We know God don't hate gay. He taught through gay, used gay to give us our whole Bible. He used gay to build the church. Queen James was gay, and you preaching out that gay book every Sunday. So let's just quit it. It's not true.
Okay,
it's just not true.
Okay, so Larry, let's dismantle that and break that down just a little bit. Are you saying a new translation, or are you talking about need to be rewritten?
A new translation is what I mean by rewritten. Yeah.
Okay. Because some people, these people hear what they want to hear. I'm noticing that. So when you say rewritten, they will think that it needs to be like rewritten as far as the prophets and the people that wrote it. So you're saying a new translation.
Right, because see, what happened is the Bible became very political and people began to pay to put things in it. So with that being said, this book has literally been manipulated by men for the purpose of patriarchy, power, politics, prosperity.
Yes.
So that needs to be undone. Take all it out. And we know the parts that was changed over the years. Take all that out. Leave that, even the borrowed part from African spirituality and Greek mythology. You can leave that in there because we ain't taking none of that literal. We read those stories and preach from those and pour the life lesson out of them. Don't none of us take those scriptures literally. We do not. If that's the case, none of us will be eating burgers because that is a sin according to the text. So it needs to be rewritten, meaning updated, evolved, and it also needs to be, in fact, you didn't got to update and evolve it. What you can do is just take everything out of it that was put in there for the purposes of patriarchy, politics, money, control of women, control of slaves. Take all of that stuff out.
Well, it ain't gonna be no Bible. It ain't gonna be no.
Yes, it will.
Maybe 3 pages gonna be left. Wow.
No, it will. Yes, it will. That same Bible is the same Bible they used to keep all of our ancestors in slavery. And y'all think is infallible? That's a joke.
I said it earlier. I think it benefits anybody that is not a part of a marginalized group. You can use it to your advantage, or you can use it willingly if you're not on the other side of the dogma, right? So if I am not gay, or if I'm not a woman, if I'm not a marginalized person, then it's like a candy store, you know, a kid in the candy store. You
right.
know? She said, Joyce Miles says the old translation says sodomites and 1 Corinthians 6:9.
Do you know what? Right. It depends on the trend. This is how come I say what I say. Let's just do it again. Let's just do it again. Let's just do it again. Now, what's interesting, that sodomite thing?
Yeah.
You can be a sodomite and not gay.
Yeah.
But see, this is the reason why they did it the way that they did it, y'all. I mean, you cannot agree with me. That's fine. You can believe something else. That's fine. But I like to have my beliefs. I got my beliefs set up with my experiences, scientific data, historical proven fact. That's my spirituality, my Christianity is founded on those things. So my belief does play a part.
Yeah.
You know, but everything else is pretty factual.
Well, do you mind sticking around for another segment, Larry?
It depends on who it is. You ain't bringing nobody else up here.
No. I'm
Okay.
not bringing, you know what? You know, if Bishop Felton, if you're in the chat, you're more than welcome, you know, to come up after Larry is on.
After me, because I get off.
I have to be fair as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the next thing I was going to talk about is I was over there watching EJ Newton, and he was talking about David and Jonathan. He was doing a whole video on that, and I didn't see that part because I've already heard all those talking points. But I was lucky enough to catch the last part, Larry, and he was talking about politics and why you know, some things with Trump he supports and some things he does not with the president. Okay. And so the topic that I had in the thumbnail is, you know, the reason why so many clergy support the POTUS, and it's antithetical to the people that is in your church, right? The members of your church. Okay.
Agreed.
And so it works for you if you are anti-gay, anti-trans. Of course, he said he basically agrees with women should be able to play sports, you know, without. Okay, a lot of people agree with that.
I agree with that.
Okay, so that's wonderful. But here's the deal. And I agree that, you know, there are some things that is a bridge too far. And I'm LGBTQ. But here's my thing, Larry. How are these pastors going to reconcile, Larry, when this all implodes in probably the next 6 months, and your members are going to be without Medicare, Medicaid, and, you know, housing is going to be abysmal, and you know, food and social services, and people being terminated, not only probationary people, but career people are being terminated and don't even know where they fit to go and what they fit to do. How do you, as a pastor, how are you going to preach to these people, and you supported the man that has them in the situation that they're in now?
You know what?
Take your time, Larry. Take your time.
The reality is the people in the pew makes this possible.
Okay.
If the people in the pew would put their money in the place and space that respects their gender identity, their belief, even their spiritual system of practice that they choose, this wouldn't be a problem. But the problem is that our people are so well programmed that we are not even going to question our leader, and we are not going to say or do anything to where they would need to give answer. We're just going to let it ride. It is a shame that any human being, it makes it worse that you're a whole pastor, that any human being will support another human being being handled improperly. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to. That's a problem for me. Let alone if it's your pastor, your prophet, or your preacher, or your teacher. I don't even know what to do with that. I made a conscious decision that, number one, I can fool up and deal with, have a relationship with anybody, no matter what you believe, whatever you practice, who you support, we can get along. But as my leader, then what you do, what you say, what you believe, all of that directly affects me. And if you did vote for Donald Trump, you support him, then, and you donated to his campaign, you cannot be my pastor, my mentor, preacher, pastor, teacher, prophet. And I respect anybody that has made that decision for themselves. I think that's self-care. Yeah, I can't understand that. How I'm a vote, what I look like voting for Donald Trump, knowing what was said in Project 2025 and how it's going to affect my daughters, my mom, my aunts, my sisters, the members of my church that are female. There's no way in the world that I would do that. I'm not capable of doing that. Everything in me says it's improper to do. Although I knew that Trump will more than likely become the president, or the rise of Trump energy will happen, because the stars said it, because Pluto went back in the position that it was in when he was president. So I had mentioned this in April of last year. Although that happened, and it was a huge blessing for me, 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, all those weeks after he got elected, because the market just went through the roof. But that's pretty typical of any president, but especially this president, when he took office, it shot through the roof because he kept talking about crypto and Bitcoin and things of that nature. So I was really blessed, and I knew what was going to happen. So I got my blessing and pulled it out and put it in real estate. But although I was blessed by Trump winning and his rhetoric and lying, I still didn't vote for him. I voted for Kamala because she seemed to care more about humanity, although I had some problems with some of her evils, because she did have evils, because that administration was supporting and is still supporting the genocide that is happening between Israel and Palestine. So I had problems with her, but she was better than voting for Trump. So I don't understand how anybody that serves people, especially as a pastor, could vote for Trump at all.
And when it comes to the moral dilemma, or, I don't know how they equivocate talking about the LGBTQ community, the pastors, and abortion, and whatever your platform is for. And then you have a man that was allegedly cheating on his pregnant wife with a porn star, been married multiple times, and is not a compulsive, but a pathological liar. They have think tanks, they have platforms that count his lies, Larry. And so it's unconscionable how they, on one hand, they are the moral police, but on the other hand, we'll just look the other way because he is moving the needle on all of our agendas that we care about. In the meantime, because he is what many consider a bait and switch con man out of Queens, right?
Come on.
He gives you red meat, what you need, and then he is going to do what he needs to do to protect himself and enrich himself.
Come on.
So, and I don't know how nobody don't see that. Like, you don't have to be a stunt queen. You don't have to be a former white collar, nothing. You don't have to be from the streets. You should be able to see that with your regular eye, that this man is out here doing the absolute most. You can see with President Musk, right? You can see that he is basically taking from marginalized people, basically. And then they're using that for a purpose to enrich themselves. So they got to take away from something. They just can't go in the kitty and just take it, and throw it in their bank account. So it has to come from somewhere. And so why not poor and marginalized people under the guise of we're trimming down the pork of government? Larry, we're at a place right now. I don't think we've ever been here in my lifetime. And so people better wake up real quick and understand that Kareem Jean-Pierre was on The View the other day, and she said that we are in a 5-alarm fire, Larry, right now. And you got some people that are still thinking like, oh my God, well, we're almost there. No, we're here now. We're here. Yeah, we're here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think, and those of you that are listening to me and Tyesse, a part of the LRL and the Ty Squad, I think I can say this and speak for all of you guys. I don't think our community has a problem with having a conversation with anybody on our platform. I just think they feel the way that they feel about certain things that those people say, and they still love both of our platforms. But I just wanted to make it really, 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 really clear on what I was saying. EJ and Gigi, my thing with them, man, is a problem I've seen with other people. Why are y'all using spiritual talk, religious rhetoric, playing on the biases, fears of Black churchgoers to get likes, to get interaction, and also money, and not telling the truth that you are monetizing your moment for your own selfish gain, and you do not really care that it negatively affects the people you're talking to or the person you're talking about. In fact, if anything, you want it to negatively affect him and the people so that they would then become a part of your community, or at least leave him. Tell that truth, because we all see it on displays. We know that's what you're doing, but you're not either cognizant of it, or either you are purposefully shielding it from us and manipulating us in the moment. You're monetizing this moment for your own selfish gain. Why not tell us that? Then we might believe that the stories you're saying is the truth, but you can't point at somebody and say all wrong, when you yesterday was saying all right. That lets us know that something happened personally. Don't blame it on God, Jesus, or nothing. Something happened personally that ticks you off and you mad about it. So now you don't switch teams. Tell us that truth. That's my problem with them. They're not truth tellers at all. They are not truth tellers. That's why I don't,
I didn't even know, Larry, that there's a whole sector of that type of, everybody's a witch and a warlock. Once I started watching a couple of their videos, all the videos start coming up in my timeline. I was like, what is this? Like,
most of them are Africans.
Most of them, like,
yeah, and Black. All of them probably Black.
Yeah, like, they have, and then they put, Prophet Lowy and others, on the thumbnail, and
they are
really cashing in on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they put me. There's a guy, Philip. Hold on, that was his name, Philip Mitchell, the guy that was crying about money, and then somebody gave him some money.
Okay.
You remember him, the Black guy? He got out there crying about something about their church, and then somebody gave him money. The church got
the 2819 church.
And what the hell? What the hell is that? Why is they church numbers?
I think 2819 is a Bible scripture. That's what the Ty Squad told me.
Okay.
I think it's Matthew 28:19 or something. I cannot, Larry. Listen. But yeah, he was, I remember that we covered that he was crying, and then he wound up getting the money he needed. And then he said it was a miracle because, the city came around.
No, that's no miracle. That's you crying online and somebody felt sorry for you and gave you the money. But this dumbass mother gets on his platform. Oh my God, this boils my grits. He got on his platform and talking about how Jesus was not a Black man. He was talking about another pastor that preached about it, and how the pastor took the persecution of Jesus and equated it to the persecution of the Black man, called all these Black men to the altar, and these folk had real breakthroughs. This nigga gets in his church on the platform a white man gave him and started talking about how Jesus is not a Black man. Oh, yes, he said. I watched it last night. No, early this morning. I said, huh? I said, Jesus, and I want everybody to hear me really, really clear. Jesus was an Afro-Palestinian Jew. That I don't know what, and I see this is the thing. That lets me know, I know he went to a white school. And now I really know because I researched it. He went to a school founded by Rod Parsley.
Okay.
Jesus was an Afro-Palestinian Jew. And he's Jew by practice and customs and traditions. So, and I want everybody to remember this. Jesus was an African. And if you want to lighten up on it, African descent. The point is, this was a black man, and everything we saw in the movies when they're doing the Bible stories, these light, white-skinned people, none of that is true. It's all Hollywood and programming to make you think white is right. And a lot of people like that pastor don't know that these talking points that they have, they are the same talking points of racist white Christians from years ago, and you're perpetuating that as a black person. I have huge issues with black-skinned people that have white, Eurocentric Christian talking points like Jackie Hill Perry, this Pastor Jasmine woman that took my clip and put on her platform. I have a problem with y'all, and some of what Tiffany Montgomery says. I have a problem with these people saying these things, these talking points, more than I do a Miles Rutherford, who take my clips and put on his platform. He's white. That's what he's supposed to do. But you, as a black-skinned person, it bothers me that your sole black person is white.
Yeah. It's why I will never go over there and even visit. I told Larry, like, a lot of these boutique churches, they really grow so fast. And people do, I've told you this privately, Larry, it grows so fast, people don't really have time to vet some of these ministers. It's like it just overnight, you got 80,000 gazillion people. And it's like, well, who is this person y'all following? You haven't had time to really understand who some of these people are, let alone their doctrine sometimes.
Exactly that.
They privately with you.
Maybe they stay playing with you. All the time. And this is the things that I can't win for losing, Crystal, because when I just do jokes on what is done in the public, like I did years ago, and being very inappropriate and not really caring how the joke hurt, they drag me. Now that I'm doing more spiritual church critique, cultural critique shows, and even doing my lifestyle stuff on my platform, merging it in there, now they're taking that and beat me with it a different way. The problem they got with me is nobody owns these black lips. These black lips are for God and for his people, and nothing nobody do. When Bishop Jordan was my mentor, they used to call him all the time, and he would tell them, look, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm his mentor, but I don't have anything to do with that. He's his own person. He's a grown man I met in 2018. I can't change what he do. So they just gonna come for me because it gets clicks, likes, and engagement. So that's a business side for that. But yeah, they talking crazy. And then he talked against the same Philip guy. I wasn't gonna give him. I could have wrote the check for what he needed, but there's no way that I would send him $2 with him teaching and preaching in a way that is against blackness. Hell no.
Well, there was one pastor. The night he did the cry. One pastor gave him $250,000. They said that cry really worked.
It do. It was manipulation. I mean, you come out here and crying about something that happened. Watch how we give you all kind of money. That's what's gonna happen. That's just it was. They spiritualized the moment. When I saw, I said, "Oh, he don't get the money." I hadn't when I first seen that, it wasn't in seconds. I said, "He got that money." That black man crying like that. Oh yeah, somebody gonna get that money.
Harold said, "Not a red cent." I just got this, Larry, from the Top Squad. The new Mary movie. They say she's a little. They got a little tan on her, just a little tan, Larry. But she.
That's Mary.
Yeah, this is the new Mary movie on Netflix. the task force said she got just a little tan on her though. But you can still see
her look like the Arabs.
Yeah, they just refuse. They refuse to give Bible, any type of melanin. They're not gonna go too. They're not gonna go too dark.
Mm-hmm.
The money is connected to something. Either he's gonna pay on the front arm. Okay, Carrie.
Somebody's prophetic.
Yeah, a lot of times, when somebody give you a loan or somebody give you a gift, there's always something they're gonna want in the end. So,
mm-hmm.
man, you don't really get too much free anything nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
the David series is the same way. I just seen the other day. Everybody up there is white skin.
I can't watch none of that stuff. Like, I just can't. It's just like, oh, y'all gonna really do this? Y'all haven't really evolved from when y'all made Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor. It's like there really isn't anything that you can say you can watch and you can say, you know what, that's historically accurate based on what we know. Yes. Hollywood just has this fantasy with blonde and blue and all that good stuff, So
So look, well, we have to start saying that Jesus was Afro-Palestinian Jew. Everybody needs to type Afro-Palestinian Jew and then make it a post on your platform, your social media. Because when you say that, you're acknowledging his Jewish ethnicity, the location Palestine, especially in this climate, it needs to be acknowledged, and also his African lineage and ancestry, heritage. So it needs to be said, and it needs to be very clear. And we need to say that the whole Bible is a book created by Africans in Africa, the original Bible, and then it was taken and manipulated by white Europeans. And every Black person needs to know this, because this reshapes your Christian faith, but it doesn't cause you to lose faith. If anything, if you finish deconstruction has done nothing but increased my faith, brought me closer to myself and God, and actually has increased my prayer and meditation life. Because what I understand now in deconstruction, and I've been deconstructing y'all for decades, and what I understand now in deconstruction is that this process is really the salvation of the soul, not what they told us. What they told us was what somebody told to them. And when the Holy Ghost start coming in and deconstructing stuff and pulling that stuff back, you find Jesus. Because they have that white hair, that white skin, blue eye, long, relaxed hair. That ain't Jesus.
And you said something yesterday, Larry. I think it was just that you were talking about, you said, that area, Saudi Arabia over that way, you can see from a geology standpoint how it's separated. Like, you can look on a map and see that it's still really Africa, but it just there's a gap, and there's
that top part is still attached. The top part is still attached. Yeah. But even when with Israel and Northern Africa, that Middle East is all that's made up by Europe. It's just made up. It's made up by Europe. The Bible is Africa. It all started in Africa. The Garden of Eden, Africa, not the Middle East like they say. No, Africa. Y'all looking at the maps now. Go back to the original maps before this shifting started happening every year, because the landmasses shift every year. So yeah, it's amazing to me. And I think Black people need to, there's some key things we got to program each other with. First of all, who Jesus is. That's terribly important to those of us that practice different African spirituality systems, because we understand knowing that Jesus was of African descent makes him truly our ancestor. The reality is Jesus is not even a European's ancestor, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. There was an episode, Larry, I'm sure you've seen it at least once in your lifetime, and the episode was called Black Jesus on Good Times. And there was a picture of, you know, Jesus, that famous picture that we've all had in our houses, some of us. And so little Michael went and put a picture of Black Jesus on the wall. And Florida, because she was so steeped in, you know, whatever she was steeped in, she had a fit, because she had a fit that Black Jesus was on the wall. And, you know, you took the picture down that I grew up on, that I know, and, you know, generations have come to know. And they say it's some man named Caesar, whatever his name is, Larry.
That's right.
You know, so a lot of times we have to really, really deconstruct and decolonize our minds, especially when it comes to images.
I see. That's the reason why a few of the people in the chat said what they said when Bishop Felton on. They said they want watch. When you're in deconstruction, you have to watch who you listening to. You have to watch who's talking to you. Is this person a deconstructionalist? Are they a futurist? Are they a prophet? That's those three questions. If they ain't that, and you going through deconstruction, you ain't got no space for them in your head. So I understand the reason why some of you don't watch when he's on. I just choose not to, because I have a problem. Y'all see me in the chat. Something said I have to type something. I have to hit the link. So it's not always good for me to be in it, because I'm gonna start something up. So I just don't even watch. And I do understand the rest of you guys who feel as though because the space you're in, you can't watch. But if I can hold myself, I could watch, because I'm pretty sure everything he says ain't bad, you know. But there's this key things that I just cannot sit with, because I'm an advocate for the opposite. So I can't hear you speak a way that is injurious to women or same-gender loving people or to the overall Black mind and sit in silence. I'm going to say something.
But in fairness, that is what 95% of the Black church, Larry, that teaches literal, you know, from the Bible. So I don't want this to single out Bishop Felton as though he's an anomaly.
Right. He's not.
This happens every Sunday in the Black church, where, you know, they preach exactly how it's written, and they are, you know, Bible literalists.
Yeah, in fact, let's do it like this, so don't feel like it's singling out Felton. He is the norm in the Black church. We are the ones that's not. We're the ones who are coming into this new thought and revelation, and Christ is forming himself in our mind and in our thinking. And so we are the ones that are really the odd people out right now, you know. But as far as the church and how it is, the institution, the leadership, how it's structured, really, Bishop Felton is the norm. And even those, because some other people say, oh no, he's not. People have shifted. No. Either they are bold like Bishop Felton is and saying what he think and feel about same-gender loving and stuff like that, or they're not preaching and teaching on that, and they're preaching and teaching on other stuff, but they feel the same way Felton does, you know. So yeah, that is something that I hope all of us can sort of unite around. Afro-Palestinian Jew is who Jesus was. And when you say that, if you want to put a little Jeremy in it, Jesus ain't even none of y'all ancestors Europeans. Because he's not even your ancestor, because Jesus is not of European descent at all. So he was an Afro-Palestinian, Middle Eastern even Jew. But definitely ain't no European in there, nowhere in there at all. He was born to a Jewish family that practiced Judaism. That's what made him Jew. Yeah, so he had brown skin, dark hair, which today is Middle Eastern features. But we understand that Semitic aspect and where the roots go into, very different. It goes to Africa, does not go to Europe, where the blonde hair, blue-eyed depictions are. That comes from the Renaissance, when he was painted and created. Do you know that this Jesus is an invention of a white person? And this is what Black people need to be talking and saying, so we get very clear. It's Christianity Incorporated. It is an entire business, and it is made up to dominate the entire world. And you and I are the ones that have been dominated, but our ancestors gave us a gift when they gave them white, blue-eyed Jesus and that part of the Bible that really affirmed and confirmed slavery from a spiritual, religious aspect to our people. They still didn't let go of their African spirituality systems and practice and those things that were cultural, and they married it to Christianity. That is the reason why we got bucking in our church and speaking in tongues and our folk having visions and prophesying, because that comes from our authentic spirituality that we practice and we learned as a people in Africa. So we need to get really clear about that, and everybody need to be saying the same thing.
What is it then, Larry, when we, move away from the orthodoxy of, these things? What is it that causes there to be a great pushback? Because so oftentimes they'll label it the great falling away, or y'all are following any wayward doctrine. When people start to either expand their consciousness or decolonize their brains and try to reboot, it's either you don't want to be under any leadership or you just don't want to live a disciplined life.
That's right. Well, see, that great question, great observation, that is what they do to us that are futurists, deconstructionalists, and prophets. They do that to us. They say you don't want to live right, you don't want to do right. They done to Obama because Obama was pro-gay. They called him gay. So people don't understand that the damage that the Christian religion has done to Blackness, and Black people need to understand it and get very clear and start to, as you said, decolonize and deconstruct in the world of their faith so that their souls can be saved. Because in context of your beliefs, so many of our loved ones are dying in sin. And that sin is practicing a faith that is harmful to others and harmful to the self. Anytime there's harm to yourself and someone else, you are in sin, because that's what sin really is. And so these people, Tyesse, when we start talking and it freeing people up from what was, they think that the freedom itself is diabolical.
Yeah.
That lets you know that we're dealing with a slave mentality that is in our Christianity focused on Black bodies. Because when we start talking freedom, they call it demonic. Can we just tell the truth? Our folk like to be told what to do. They like to be oppressed and they like to be controlled. And that feels like holiness. It feels like master love me. Yeah, that's a problem.
Everything from astrology to sage can be weaponized. If you put too much stock into it, crystals, all of that.
All of that. Let's set all you apostolic to the bone. There shall be light in the evening time. The way to glory you will surely find. It's through the waterway. Yeah, that's if you're apostolic, you know that song.
And I'm PAW, so it's more like I love.
Oh, come on, time of that run. I love the Lord.
They just everything was a moan, like everything was a moan at the end, so PAW is really a different.
Oh, but that's apostolic though. Y'all baptized in Jesus' name.
Yeah.
We both apostolic.
Okay. Well,
both apostolic, both Aquarius. Okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, it's a whole journey for us to, get from where we came from and get to another side of that and have some type of semblance of our right mind. Because believe it or not, Larry, religion, as it's been given to us, can do a number on you.
Make you mentally ill. I call it church brain.
I've seen it in my family.
I call it church brain. You call it Bible brain.
Yeah,
but it's a mental illness.
Yeah, I've seen some people you know, my mother, you know, a lot of the women from her generation, you know, a lot of them, you know, didn't have a lot of education. They came out of the South, and you know, and so a lot of times the pastor was the man in their life, if you know what I mean, Larry. And so they felt devoted to this man, you know, and whatever he said was like he could tell you that the moon was green, and they would believe it because that was the man in their life. So
and pastors took advantage of that.
yeah.
I use it. Any single woman in my ministry is going to have a certain kind of something for me as their pastor, whether I'm married or single. I'm not saying that something is something sexual or anything. It's just a certain, because I now represent in her life as a man that she can trust, that's going to tell her the truth. There's a security wrapped around me being in their life. I would never mismanage that. Never, ever, not intentionally. I would not. Let me say that. So, but a lot of these pastors back then, they used it. They used it to get puss, because you can. If a woman like you and love you, she don't have any problem, except that she have certain other things in place. She don't have any problem giving herself to you. It's just how she's wired. I know that, so I'm careful in how I deal with that. You know, because I am a hugging pastor, a kissing pastor, a complimenting pastor. That is my natural who I am. I'm gonna say, "Oh, you look so beautiful and amazing," and that can become something very easy. But it's on the pastors, our responsibility to keep those lines drawn.
And Larry, a lot of them pastors from back in the day, you know, I'm a 80s, late 70s, 80s. A lot of the pastors were very magnetic. They had that charisma was, you know, like sweep you off your foot, you know, off your feet. So
anytime you're in leadership, Tyesse, you have that. You have it. You have it. So even the women who are straight, who know you gay, they still looking at you. Oh, he cute. Look at him. He looks cute today. Look at Tyesse. And if you said, let me just try, let's put the head in. Okay.
What?
I let you try. You come, you fly here. I won't tell nobody. That's how women are. That's how we get caught up. Because a woman tell you she ain't gonna tell nobody. She ain't telling nobody until she get mad at you. She ain't telling nobody
until mad day.
Until bad day. You know, and most women on mad day they won't.
I can see how it's easy for people to just become putty in somebody's hands, especially with that type of charisma. I look at C.L. Franklin, Aretha's father. They called him the man with the $1 million voice, but he had a charisma, a megawatt, that slick hair and them slick suits and stuff. Like it's a lot, Larry. Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but let me be good.
But we have that, and then that I am also. See, I got a double. I'm not just a pastor, but I'm an entertainer too. So I get push, chest meat, throw it at me weekly. If not, sometimes daily. We about to go into spring and summer. The spirits of spring and summer come out and get hold of these folks. So my inbox is gonna be full. Start sometime this month and gonna go all the way to about September. You know, so when you are in prime example, Jamal Harrison Bryant. Jamal Harrison Bryant to us looks like an okay looking man. To me, 5 years ago, I thought he was ugly because I didn't know him. I wasn't watching his preaching. But because he kept going viral and I kept having to talk to him, I said, oh, he dressed good. Oh, I like what he got around his arm. Oh, look, to where now he looks at somebody who has some form of attraction. In the church, we come to a box 2-3 times a week. One person stands in the pulpit while everybody listening to that one person. That one person has influence, power over you spiritually, psychologically, and sexually. Wow. Period, point blank. What they do with it depends on their own personal character.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, you know, they were saying things about Jay-Z. And then as soon as he hit a certain status, then people just started saying, oh, I can kind of see something different now. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, to me, Jamal used to look like the thing that played the drums at Chuck E. Cheese, you know. But now I can see it. I can see it now, Larry. I see it, you know, something, yeah.
It's how it works. It's how it works. It's how it works.
They just sent me, LaGreta just sent me a video, Larry, of the Democrats singing "We Shall Overcome" today.
I saw it when he was censored, CENSURE, when Representative, Al Green was censored. He's eloquently, he speaks so well. There's something about it's something about him that feels very sainted. And it feels very prophetic. And this is why I took that picture when his cane was pointing. I put it in there and said, this is a great picture of the prophet's responsibility. The prophet is supposed to speak truth to power. And he accepted, he knew he was out of order, so he accepted the censure. But the reality is more people should have been speaking up. It is not time to deal with these things that are civilly, that you need to be incivil, you need to be rambunctious, you need to be explosive. And I'm not using these terms to excuse any rude or harmful treatment, but you need to be so committed to speaking truth to power now and using every opportunity you can to do so. And more people should have done something, in my opinion, that would have been as show-stopping. Now, once the man speaks and says stop, you're supposed to stop, but because he kept going 2 or 3 more times, that's why he got the censor. But they could have all done something, and I'm glad to see this time they did. While he stood up there to take his censor, the Democrats began to sing, "We shall overcome." It was amazing. It was great to see.
Yeah, I think that, when it happened, it would have been a real symbolic gesture if everybody would have got up and walked out with him. Like, he's one of us. And so if you didn't throw Marjorie Taylor Greene out, Lauren Boebert didn't get thrown out, Brother Wilson from North Carolina, when he said you lied to President Obama, none of these people were removed. They got to sit there. So I commend Congressman Al Green for his tenacity and his boldness, because somebody has to have a spine and speak up and say something at this point.
Yeah. There was like 6 or 7 or maybe 9 Democrats that voted to have him censored. So Democrats got to do some work. They got to do some work.
That's going to be problematic for them.
How come nobody texted in the text thread what all of the rest of the Democrats was and said, no matter what you feel tomorrow, we need everybody to stand with Representative Al Green? So they don't. That's what we would have done. I would have texted the thread, look, we're going to fix whatever problems we got amongst each other in a meeting by ourselves. But tomorrow, we're going to stand with Al Green. I don't know why they ain't moving like that. The Democrats, I mean, I'm not a Democrat or Republican, but if I was a Democrat, I would be so upset with my party from the very beginning of Kamala's whole entire campaign. I would have been upset.
Well, the thing about it, Democrats have never got the memo that these people, the Republican side, they do not play nice politics. The Democrats just never got it. They don't play nice politics. They get gangster with it, and they don't care about whatever the optics are. They go all the way. Once they in, they go hard. So Trump is their man, and they're going to go hard for him and ride for him until it implodes or the wheels fall off. And so Democrats are worried about optics and how we look. And y'all got to get gangster, because I'm going to be honest with y'all, that when they go low, we go, all that stuff, we got to, put that to the side right now and get in the game. We really do.
Yeah, Michelle responsible for that. Well, she can do that. But the rest of us, when they go low, we got to go to hell.
To the abyss. To the bowels, because this is not a normal political season that we're in there. It's not. This is
not
something we've never seen. But I appreciated you for coming on and giving your take. And it's always
the GG stuff. What, they did something else new or something?
No, I was talking about EJ and this. What I was speaking to today was, he said that there's some things with Trump he agree with, and then there's some things he don't agree with. And so he's able to walk between both of those worlds. When it comes to something like this with this man, Larry, you can't walk between both worlds, because first of all, you are an immigrant, and in some kind of capacity, somebody in your somebody in your circle may eventually be affected by the policies of this administration. You may not be affected, but your mother, or auntie, a relative, or somebody may be affected by some of this stuff that this man has got going on. So I'm praying for everybody involved, but we have to really, really be clear about who we are sitting under, and they are supporting somebody like that man. I'm serious. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So he's now admitting to being on both sides of the fence. Is what I hear.
He basically said that he's okay with, some of the things, but he said if he has something that he disagrees with, he'll disagree with it. But he was speaking to the trans and sports situation and how,
I agree with that, but I'm not supporting Donald Trump.
That's the thing. That was my point. Like, you can agree with anybody if there's something to be agreed upon, but when it comes to supporting that person, that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation because
did he marry an American?
Who?
EJ.
I don't know. And there's things and rumors about him. So I'm like,
he got a green card?
Huh?
So he got a green card. I mean, what is the? I mean,
listen, the hell if I know, Larry. Listen, don't get me that speculating. But like I said, when we start talking about moral stuff and sexuality, and he was talking about that, sir, there are things that are out here. I've seen videos that people have done.
Hold on. He said something like that?
Yeah, he was talking about homosexuality and stuff. So, and you know how they try to.
What he said about homosexuality?
Well, he was talking about, he's glad that we're at a place right now where you can say what you want to about the LGBTQ community. So he's glad that Trump is making it okay for you to have freedom of speech, because some of the stuff he was saying, he said he couldn't say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and so now it's okay because Trump is rescinding all of this censorship.
No, but what Trump allowed them to say is stuff that's harmful and derogatory. So he likes the fact that he's able to speak harmfully and derogatory
because they're using religious cover. Mm-hmm. They're able to say what they want to say concerning, the Bible, and it always spills over into other parts of that conversation, Larry. Men with men and women with women and stuff like that. So
I don't understand this. You know what? I'm gonna say this, and people can take it. Any man that is harping on homosexual stuff is thinking about doing homosexual things.
The video was about Jonathan and David, and the whole video was about Jonathan. He did a video on were they gay. That was the title. Huh?
Really?
The whole video was about. I wouldn't lie to you.
Well, how did he justify? I mean, we don't know what they were, but from the things that was said in the scripture, we know it was at least a bromance.
Here it is. Thumbnail, Larry.
Debunk where David. Okay, he trying to do content. Lord, that 2 Jesuses together. Is that 2 Jesuses?
Plus, Trump makes a special announcement.
Oh, he voted for Trump.
I didn't watch the Jonathan and David part. I caught the tail end where he was basically saying he's glad that Trump is doing things now where he can say what he want to say concerning these matters.
I can't take the 2 Jesuses because somebody had to be a bottom.
Who is that?
I just can't see Jesus as a bottom.
Who is these men, Larry? Who are these men?
It's Jesuses.
Oh my God!
2 Jesuses. That's 2 Jesus, and one of them is a bottom. I just can't see Jesus is not the bottom. Jesus,
no, that's David and Jonathan. I think that's David and Jonathan. They was over there by the because they were talking about they was in the caves and stuff in the mountains. I don't know what they was doing up there, Larry. I really don't.
Oh, Jonathan was probably Jonathan and David really loved each other, and the scripture said this here, that their love surpassed any love that any man could have for a woman. So they definitely had some kind of covenant relationship, but it don't mean they were frucking. If they were frucking, let me see.
Maybe they was picking berries, or
No, if they got penises, we got to nut. I mean, straight or gay, we must nut. We absolutely got to nut. So if they weren't doing it with each other, they might was holding down one of them sheep they were tending to. David was tending to. You know, sheep puss look like a woman's puss. So David being a shepherd, he might have had a few things that he liked outside of Jonathan that could go bad.
I want to go watch it, but I lose brain cells listening to I really do. It's like it is one Bible scripture after another. It's like, okay, let me take you to this Bible scripture. Okay, can you just expound on the scripture before you go to the next scripture? Like it's headache inducing, Larry. I can't.
He is not smart.
Oh,
it's not eloquent.
Okay.
So it's difficult to listen to him.
It's just like, okay, I'm going to take you to Ecclesiastics now. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You didn't finish the last talking point. Okay, now I'm going to take you to 1 Corinthians. Okay, I give up. I got to go. I may listen to it, like, you know, just for the purposes of understanding his thoughts on David and Jonathan. He does not have a lot of smart parts. Wow, Tamara.
Remember, I made it up to my people have smart. We all have smart and dumb parts, but some of us have more dumb parts than smart. Yeah, but
are you teaching tonight? You got Patreon?
I'm gonna do that Sunday and Wednesday. I may pop up to talk about spirit animals, but I mentioned that to them. But yeah, this AJ, him and Gigi, they're not truth tellers. They're not honest. They need to be honest about what they're doing, because that live that he doing there, that's for clicks. Because you know there are a lot of people that hate. There's 7 to 8 million people that would agree with him and Trump. So he's trying to get in front of those people and get those numbers. You know, so
I think they're boasting, Larry, that this hit job on Lovey is kind of losing its steam. I ain't just going to say kind of. It is. It's losing its steam.
It's gone.
And I'm looking at them live numbers, and them live numbers are coming all the way down. And so now they're moving towards, let's talk about David and Jonathan. Let's talk about Ruth and Naomi. And, you know, they're still doing the demonic tongues and worshiping this, all that, but they realize it. And Gigi, she just fell completely off the radar. Like, I think she's had her realization. It ain't happening.
It wasn't a good look for her. It's not a good look for EJ, but I think it was a worse look for her because she actually is pretty on the outside. EJ being a YouTuber that clout chase and talk about preachers, that probably is going to be the best thing for him to do in his future. I think that'll do better than his church. So I don't blame him for taking this sort of position in social media of being this coming after demons and diabolical pastors, prophets. He looked like the kind that would do that anyway.
What I've learned, Larry, is that, you know, when it comes to these kind of hit pieces and trying to take people down, I've always seen them backfire on social media. I've never seen not too many people have success with these hit pieces, you know.
I want to see if we know somebody that has success.
Not many. And it always
I can't think of nobody. I mean, I would say Tasha K, because that's how she got over 1 million and her name went in all these blogs. That's how she got her blue checks and stuff. But what is that? Was it worth all of that? I don't know if I'm gonna call that success. I can say maybe infamy, maybe, but no, that's not success.
But you will never be able to garner real relationships with people, because everybody, you know, that will come into your life will always know that what you are possible of. Like, so if anybody is in your circle, are they going to really be in your circle? You know, because I know what you may be, you know, capable of, or they may not be capable of. So yeah, that's scary. Not be able to cultivate real relationships.
Yeah, I mean, she better have some relationships, but not ones like me and you would be able to have, because they'll be so scared of what she's going to do and say after the relationship, and she's sort of shown the world that she's really not a friend to anyone.
Well, what I've heard from countless people, Larry, they say, well, you know, when you talk to her personally, she's, you know, she's a decent lady, she's okay. They say something about when that camera come on, Larry. And I've heard this about other content creators. They say when you meet them in person, they seem like regular, normal people. But when that light comes on, something just clicks with these people. They forget about everything.
I think that that's probably true on some level, because it's a character that she's created for in front of the thing. But what you see on the in front of the camera, that's a lot of her. It's just her turned up.
Yeah.
I like I said to people that were telling me something was wrong with her the first few years and we didn't have no issues. I said, I ain't had no problem with Tasha. We get along good. But then when she out, that's how come I was so like, what? When she switched and started going in on me with Bishop, I can't think of that man's name. I see his face.
Whitehead.
Yeah, Whitehead. I was like, now she don't join that whole crew. It took me a while to wrap my head around that. And I was bothered for a while. But the reason why I was bothered is because I had believed that she was better than that. So that was my issue. And then I couldn't figure out why she was doing that to me until I sit and got quiet. So you know what? I know exactly why she did this to me. So
yeah, sometimes you know what? In the stillness, all them answers will come, Larry. I've had that happen to me.
But you know, I only care now.
I've been there. Like when something like that happens, you like, I'm at a point now, honey, where it don't even matter no more. Whatever happens, it happens.
No, I don't even like this was the first year when they started this stuff in 2019, and it usually go from about November to May. If they doing something, I don't know nothing about it. It does not come in my life at all. I don't get an inbox. I don't get anything. If you or Pam or Conscious don't tell me, or sometimes Ormond don't tell me, I don't know what's happening. And if y'all too busy and y'all can't be looking at what's happening, then there's no other way for me to get it. And most of the time, Pam get caught up, you get caught up in your commentary, Conscious doing his, and Armand doing all the stuff he doing in his life. A lot of times I don't ever hear it at all.
Yeah.
And like months later, I said, they said, what? When was that? I said, oh, that was like months ago. I'm like, oh, I don't care.
I try not to even drop off anything anymore as much, because when you look at it, it's like these people really are not moving anything influence-wise, Larry. They may have an audience that is a diehard audience that watches the madness, but in the grand scheme of things, from a pop culture standpoint and the nationwide, these people nobody know these people outside of these pockets on YouTube. So it ain't even worth it sometimes.
There's difference between somebody uploading YouTube and doing commentary, being a YouTube uploader or just doing commentary online. But then being an influencer is different. Yeah. I'm an influencer. You are an influencer. Tasha K is an influencer. If your name or your show or platform or what you say and do does not make other people have a reaction, like buy something, purchase something, you don't have influence.
True.
You don't have an influence. But you can say, give somebody $10 and hundreds of people will go and give that person that they don't know, that's going off of your word because they like you, $10. That's influence. If you do not have that, like Tasha K is able to say, okay, I'm going to be in this city, buy tickets. That's influence.
And they buy them.
Right. That if you do not have influence, I shouldn't even be caring what you're saying, because when I care about what you say, then you borrow my influence.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that no more.
That's a whole word. That's a whole word. I shouldn't even be bothered with the thought process, because now I'm transferring my energy. Yeah.
And we make it significant when it really sits in insignificance. So it's made, created. They hit live, get likes and shares in a world called insignificance. When we put our attention on it, it now gets brought into the world of significance.
Yeah. I don't know, is it an Aquarius thing, Larry, or is it me? I just like to let all of these people know who they are. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't think I want to let you know exactly how late and tired you are. Like
that is
for the rest of your everlasting life.
That's Aquarius.
That's that's Aquarius?
That's Aquarius, particularly Uranus. Because we got the two planets, Saturn and Uranus. One is pretty regimented, which makes us a fit sign. And then the fixed sign because we're very stuck in our ways and stubborn. And then the other one makes us unpredictable and innovative and all of that. So yes, you have a natural bend to want, number one, to protect your community. They call us the custodians of the zodiac because we always are trying to clean stuff up. We're always trying to get everybody to work together. Around every Aquarius, you're going to have all of the rest of the 11 signs are going to be in our immediate life because that is who we are. The whole all the constellations gather around us. So it is in your nature to protect your community, and it's also in your nature to sound the alarm when there is a wolf, a snake, or anything threatening to anyone or anything. So it's in your sign to call a thing a thing. Yeah.
Well, that's me. That's me. Okay, so she is mentoring younger people. She has several staffers. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Tasha K. I think she's talking about Tasha K. She is mentoring younger people. She has.
Yeah, she's employing people. She has influence now. She got influence.
Now, some of those relationships always end in some type of disaster, but listen, she does have the influence. She does have the influence. Larry, tell me this, because these are things that people don't, hear from you. Do you watch any of the Tyler Perry universe? Any of it?
I watched what's that? I Haves and Have Nots. I watched that.
Okay.
And I watched Queen's Men because most of the guys in there, I know most of them guys that was in there.
How you know, Larry?
Because when I first moved to Atlanta, let me be very clear. Yeah. But when I first moved to Atlanta, not knowing what I have to have massage. I got somebody to massage me and do therapy and all that. So I was going on the sites and finding massage people, and I quickly found out that most of these massage people were escorts or either strippers or dancers, or gay for pay. I can't tell you how many situations I've been in, found somebody to do a massage. Do my massage, I turn over, or either 5 or 10 minutes in the massage, turn over. Why told you ain't done my back? And then as soon as I turn over, you reaching for my peen. I said, no, I don't want that. Are you sure you want? I'm positive. I want a massage. Can I turn back over? So I went through all of that in 2018, man. And so when I saw the show and was told about the show, then Eva, I really like Eva. I think she's a natural beauty. I said, okay, how she acting? So when I looked the first episode, when I saw certain people, I said, oh, this. I can tell you firsthand that quite 50% of the men on that thing, ladies, they ain't just gonna go. They just don't want puss. They want bush too. And everybody in Atlanta knows this because he went to that community and pulled the escorts, the dancers, and the strippers. And all those men in Atlanta, they're fluid. So those are the 2 shows I watched. I'm trying to think of anything else that I watched from Tyler Perry. And then his movies. I ain't watched The Pains or none of that. No, that's only 2.
The sitcoms is not my thing with him at all. Kendall, it dropped last night. So it dropped at midnight. Beauty in Black is back. But I will give you.
Oh, I did watch that. I watched that.
Yeah, it's good. It's I say
and that old man on it that like boys.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah, he was on the cane.
Yes. That's
that was good.
That is back. It is back. It dropped at midnight.
So is this one episode or a whole series?
No, it was part 1 was like 6 episodes, and that already aired. And so he's doing it in 2 parts. So now we have the rest.
Oh, that's good.
It dropped last night at midnight. Beauty in Black.
I'm gonna freeze some grapes and get me some water and sit back and watch that with some heat on my feet.
Yeah. Beauty in Black. Listen, everybody, at the end of the day, there are Tyler Perry fans.
Oh, hold on. I forgot one I did watch. I'm sorry. Ruthless.
Oh, that is my favorite show. Yeah. That is from the mind of Tyler Perry, y'all, by the way. That is from his mind.
That show is good.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A preacher told me about it. Kept asking, watch it. When I first watched, I said, oh, it got me. It was like 3 episodes in, it got me.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is, Larry, that is real.
Hell
and
yeah.
so many people think like this is some type of fantasy or something. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen versions of that in my life. I have.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand. You have to be very careful who you follow.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be very careful who you follow because you'll be over there with the Rackadooshoo people, you know. You real, I swear. So
the Raku, what they call it?
The Raku, and they are the Rackadooshoo's.
Right.
And so a part of the thing is that you know he has to have the men over there. He has to have the men, and they have to stay pure for him. So it's a real mind game, y'all. You have to check out Ruthless. But right now, Beauty in Black is the thing, and I'm about to check it out before I have to do Patreon tonight.
Mm-hmm. One of my friends just texted me and said, "You talk too much."
Well, listen, Larry. A lot of those strippers and those dancers and those people from that world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen. A lot of people know that there's a lot of things going on. I'll leave it at that. Larry. I don't want to get too.
I mean, it's work. It's work. It's what they have to work. Mm-hmm.
Tyler know what he doing. All this is based on true story. Y'all are a mess.
Pretty much.
I know. Ruthless is just that. It's really ruthless, and it's no holds barred.
Because it's. I think they named it off of the character Ruth. I think.
Is Beauty in Black making? Hey, Emmanuel Hughes, good to see you back in the chat. Is Beauty in Black making reference to the famous B brothers? One of them being a bishop in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the famous B brothers are.
Knowing Tyler Perry, if he know them, Tyler Perry do that a lot. He'll base some of his stuff on that actually has happened.
Yeah, because have and have nots. I've seen that in a it was a show over in Europe. That and then he did If Loving You Is Wrong. That was basically Desperate Housewives, but an urban version of it. People make jokes about Tyler Perry, but he is giving the people. Oh yeah, and some of the shows, whether you like them or not, they are. Listen, we're not. This is not Downton Abbey, y'all. This is not, these high, echelons acting people. So all the strippers in all the Queen's Men, none of them can act, but they do know they. No, they do know they lines, Larry, and they can't read them. Larry, they be like, "What you finna go do right now?" I'm about to go over there. The eye candy of it all, male and female. People probably don't. They don't probably look at it like that. Like these guys, they are not actors, because Tyler Perry's, his plots and his themes take your mind off of the fact. Oh my God, they did not go to acting school,
Yeah,
that's something that he's bringing to the table: authenticity. Why not go get a real stripper and let him strip?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Tyler, if you see this, Tyler, I'm your number one fan, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm just giving you an honest critique, and that's just the end of it. Okay, let me be quiet. But Eva is a saving grace, Larry. She is so good.
She's killing that role.
She is a saving grace because
it's a personality. I fully believe her. I believe that's the personality. She killing that role.
Yeah, she's a saving grace for that whole dichotomy. And then old boy is in it too. He's good. Christian Keys.
Oh yeah, he real good. I forget that be him. And the in that have nots, that black woman Candace Mama was the best actor on that.
Oh yeah. She's back in the day. She was on In the Heat of the Night, Larry. Back in the day.
I remember. I had to watch In the Heat of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
In the heat of the night.
That's it. That was the show back in the day. And so she looks the same. Black just don't crack. She looks the same as she did back then. So
yeah,
I'll still watch it. Yeah, it's still coming on TBS.
My grandma made us watch that.
I know what B Brothers Emmanuel is talking about. Here we go, y'all. You know,
talking about Bronner Brothers. With it,
maybe so. Yeah, Brahma Brothers. That is a beauty industry.
It just came to my mind.
Oh wow, maybe Brahma Brothers.
I've seen everything.
Yeah,
You've seen everything.
but
Yes.
Larry, but Tyler will shock you with some stuff, because there was one scene in Beauty in Black where the two men are in there, having intimate relations, and the mama walk in. Yeah, and then that was like, oh my God. So Tyler has this thing where he can really, really shock you to your core. So
yeah, but see, the guy that played that part, they showing their whole body and stuff. I guess you got to do whatever you got to do for the role.
You got to go all the way. Just a theory. Okay, Emmanuel, it's possible. Those Albertina wigs take me out. Well, Tyler talked about that concerning A Fall from Grace, and how they were talking about the wigs that the lady was wearing from the Have and Have Nots, and so he got that together because Black women are very sensitive about their hair, and so Tyler corrected that, y'all. He definitely corrected that with the wigs, because some of the wigs were wrong. They were wrong. Anywho, you already ate, Larry, so you good to go with dinner.
I am. So, where might they go?
You're off tonight. You ain't got to do nothing. So
Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
Yep, I'm off.
Okay, well, you can relax and watch.
And I was going to do a live show, but that's what I took. When I came onto your chat, I took it and hooked it into mine, so they could have something to watch.
Well, that'll be something.
I ain't got to go live.
I'm gonna do Patreon, but we're gonna be in there about all of 30 seconds, y'all. We're gonna say a few things and we out of there. I promise you.
If I do Patreon, it's gonna be on spirit animals, just so help people unlock their spirit animal, which helps them self-identify a little bit more.
Oh, spirit animals. Can you expound just for my followers really quickly?
Okay, give me 3 minutes. I can give you full context. What happened was, long story short, I got up like a normal morning to pray, and when I got to my altar, the Holy Ghost in me told me, don't pray, don't say anything. So I entered into a listening. Well, I stayed in that listening all day. I was functioning during my day, but I was listening to whatever, like I was waiting on some information. So one of the prophets texted me like they normally do and asked, they said, how you doing today? And I said, I am listening. And that triggered a conversation that let me realize all these years I have been getting wooed by what I believe to be my spirit animal. And when I say spirit animal, there's so many different ways to identify and get clarity on who you are. Of course, God, the Holy Ghost, what he tell you, prophets who prophesy to you, your parents who saw you breaking forth in this world, the position that you were born under the sun, the stars, your rising, your descendant, your moon sign, all of that help you, numerology, the numbers connected to your name and your social security number, your birth date, your license. You start uncovering what these numbers mean and what numbers you were born for and what is the one word you were born for. I know mine is 8 and 12 and my word is reform. So all of that help you identify. Another thing to help you identify is knowing your spirit animal. Now, there's energy numbers, life path numbers. There's so much, and we talk about it all in the community that I serve. And this particular animal, I used to say all the time that I wanted to buy one and have one. I was going to defang it and declaw it, which is a Black Panther. Now, if you know me for several years, you've probably heard me say, oh my God, I can't wait to buy me a Black Panther one day. And then when the Black Panther movie came out, oh my God, I said, oh, they're doing a movie called Black Panther. But it wasn't until the day before yesterday when I realized, because 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, the Spirit told me one time I was in prayer, wrote a word before my eyes stealthily. And I was like, One day I went to go post something, which was personal, a lifestyle video. Spirit said, don't post it. It happened 3 times. And then it came back to me about stealthily, but I didn't really pay attention to the word. It was just sitting on the shelf in my mind. When that day I was in listening and in the conversation with one of the prophets, and I realized that this is my spirit animal. This wasn't just my favorite animal, because when I do the teaching, I'm talking about your favorite animal that you're always drawn to, and then your spirit animal, which could be the same. But for me, it wasn't. I was wanting this Black Panther because the Black Panther was me. So when I did, I took ChatGPT once I realized it the other day, and I began to do a search on everything that the Black Panther is. And one of the words they kept using describing what the Black Panther is stealth. So that let me know this was the Holy Ghost working in my consciousness, even from a teenager, that was trying to get me to connect my ministry, my operation in my business, and just across the board to get me to enter into stealth mode. So right now, Larry Reid, and anybody I received the taruma from can probably receive this as a prophetic word. Larry Reid has been told by God to move stealthily. Okay. So there's things that's happening right now that I have as ideas and things that I'm doing. I will not be sharing that publicly, and not even with my closed audience, until it is completed and it is done. So if I receive your taruma, and maybe I don't, but this just sounds like it resonate with you, this next phase, what you're working on, 2025 and 2026, needs to be done behind a veil. It does not need to be anything that you publicize or keep people informed about along the way. This keep behind the curtain.
Yeah. Kaswa, the ChatGPT says to discover your spirit animal, you need to pay attention to animals that repeatedly appear in your life, whether in dreams, nature encounters, or even just recurring imagery, as these can be signs of a connection with a specific animal that resonates with your personality and traits. Essentially, it's about a deep intuitive connection with an animal that seems to mirror your inner self.
Yeah, and listen, the cat, a feline, because that's what a panther is, is a direct connect to African spirituality. Now, I wasn't teaching African spirituality 30, 40 years ago. But look where I'm at now. So the Panther was always trying to get me to come into mysticism, because the Black Panther is the sign of mysticism in the spirit world. And then there's the feline is also a gateway to the spirit world, so because all cats are. That's why a lot of people, the thing in you that doesn't like cats is the fear of your strength and the fear of the unpredictability of the spirit world. Everybody who's scared of cats, that's what your issue is. Because cats are spirit world conduits. This is why you always see a cat with the witch, because a cat can be used to spy, to peep. Cat is also easy to, you can project your spirit into a cat, even a dog too, pretty easy, because animal souls aren't as complex as ours. So if you can learn the art, you can actually use them as familiars. But anyway, getting at all of that. But that is how, basically what ChatGPT said is basically a good way for you to discover your spirit animal.
Yeah. Listen, I know this, y'all. I am afraid of possums, y'all. That may be a southern. Larry, I am so scared of possums. I'm from the South. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I'm talking about, I will freeze, Larry, if I see a possum. But let me just say, y'all, I don't see them often. So
yeah, I don't. I'm gonna tell you. Well, I don't like possums. But if you think of, okay, let's play with that. Okay, you hate possums. So what could be the prophetic parallel that we can pull, the spiritual lesson out of possum? First of all, possums.
It says it symbolizes, possums symbolize survival, resourcefulness, and transformation.
Okay. Now, ask ChatGPT, what is the diet of possums?
What is the diet of possums? Eggs, grains, nuts, fruit, birds. Also, other dead animals.
Okay, so let's look at this. So Tyesse doesn't like people who attack other people and who celebrate the attack or death of others. We see that in you as a commentator. You go crazy when somebody does that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So you're not like of possums. It's actually that you do not like what they do. You don't like any possum anywhere, whether it's in an actual possum or someone actually is mirroring the ways of a possum.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
that just an animal. If I see it, I cannot. Like, oh my God, I want to see it. I just dreamed about cats. Okay, Pastor said he just dreamed about cats.
Hey, Pastor, she ain't it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Pastor Legenda Clout.
Golden, she's golden. I like that.
I love cats. As a Virgo, they're okay. I don't have no problems with cats. I don't have problems with cats, but I just can't do them possums. Yeah. But I have been having dreams for a long time, Larry, and I'm gonna let you go because it's getting late. But I've been having dreams for a long time about my mother who is deceased. And whenever I have a dream about her, we are in an airport getting ready to leave. One of my spiritual friends told me that it may be something she's telling you to fly or to leave something behind, because every time I have a dream about her.
What year you start the dream?
Oh, it's been a while. Every time I dream about her, we're in the airport getting ready to go somewhere.
When did she pass?
She passed away 30 years ago in April 11th.
Where were you living when she passed?
In Pasadena. Pasadena.
Where are you originally from?
Jackson, Mississippi.
Where's she from?
Jackson, Mississippi.
She's telling you that you're to move off the West Coast.
Okay. I receive it. Yeah. I keep, like, every time I have a dream, she's in the dream and we're in the airport getting ready to travel somewhere. And then if we do get in the plane and take off, the dream ends. Yeah.
Because she's your guide. Your mom is your guide. And your mom is responsible for how you feel, think, your whole emotional body and the inside. You get that from her and your relationship with her. Moms always shape their sons emotionally. That doesn't come from our dad. That comes from our mom. So she sort of had, all our moms gave us that gift. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I hadn't had my Ethelene Reid as my mom.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, your mom is telling you, and I can also agree with what your spiritual friend said about telling you to fly, telling you to go. But the actual directive is that your next level is not going to be on the West Coast. It's going to be in a different place.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been struggling and fighting with that, but I got to
make that.
Huh?
How many years you been fighting with that?
Oh, about 2 years now. Because once my best friend passed away, she passed away in 2020. And so not long after that, the desire, there's nothing keeping me here. I have my brother, my niece here, but we can Skype and talk to people virtually. So it's not like I couldn't see them or nothing if I move away. But FaceTime, WhatsApp, we can see each other daily. But there's nothing grounding me here, Larry, keeping me here.
I'm not even trying to be funny, Ty. I mean, because I'm not an ATLian. I hated Atlanta and had to be sent here. But bruh, I could be wrong, but I really think you're supposed to be in Atlanta.
Everybody keeps telling you that. Sean and Daryl has told me that. Like everybody, all my Thai Squad Atlanta people, they have said, like, you just really need to be in Atlanta. There's really nothing in LA. Like,
okay, you look at Zoe, Tyesse Madison, me, Kaya. The list can go on to like 25 names. All are in Atlanta. Your most popular, even Tasha K, your most popular YouTubers are in Atlanta, or they were birthed out of Atlanta. Had I known that before I moved here, it might would have gave me more of an incentive to move.
Yeah.
But I came here because he told me to. I did not want to. But knowing what I know now, I feel pretty safe in saying that you're supposed to be in Atlanta. You just need to just get things in the place to where you can do it.
Yeah. And a lot of it, there's another part of the Aquarian is like if ain't nothing broke, we will have to be propelled to do something, like literally. And that's what happened with my job. I did not leave that job until the physical building was sold. And then I had to leave. But there were opportunities for me to leave my previous job years ago, Larry. But I wouldn't move until they said the whole building was being sold. And so now we got to move.
Whoa. But see, that's us, though. We're fixed. Mm-hmm. Our Aquarius is a fixed sign.
Yeah.
We don't switch it up.
Yeah, I love comfortability. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a Libra.
But in the world of business and vision and dreaming, comfort is your enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a Libra and both my parents are also Libras. Okay, Queen of North Carolina. All right.
That's great. So she's a pretty fair person. She'll be pretty good in settling debates, standing between two people and figuring out what is fair and what is just. And she wants everybody to win. That's who she is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hated ATL, lived in Midtown for many years ago. Well, I'm going to say this, and I've talked about this before. When you move to a city and you're going to the city, to change a lot, and if your mindset hasn't changed, I talked about this, you are just the same person in another geographical location. And I'm not great at choice, you Lady Trelini Williams. I'm just
saying. He is. Is that he's teaching you because you're right.
Person. You'll be
the same. Right. Because when I moved to it, I didn't want to move to Atlanta. I came to Atlanta. I'm like, oh my God. I was riding on I can't think of that road, but I was riding on that road and I was coming down the road and the Spirit said to me, I was thinking, oh my God, I can't stand this city. And the Spirit said to me, you cannot thrive and progress and prosper in a place you're not in love with. He said, learn to fall in love with the city. So that's my way of saying what Tyesse just said. You can't come to a new place and be the same person. You have to acquiesce.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once you do that, then the world, probably the city, will open up to you from a vibration standpoint.
Hey.
But if you got that same energy that you had in Chicago or Louisville or Baltimore, that same energy is going to preside in everything that you do. So,
now, let me tell you something. You named the city of somebody I know probably watching.
Oh, wow.
Where they from, and they just moved to Atlanta. So y'all make sure Felton knows that God just spoke through a gay.
Mr. Felton, I just want to let you know that listen, you all right with me, okay?
You all right with me too. Just don't.
A lot of y'all, I think what it is that, theologically, when those energies butt, it butt. And so I know Larry. Larry don't have a bad energy about stuff like that. Larry's going to speak his convictions and his truth the same way Bishop Felton is. So Larry is really speaking what he feels about that matter, and so does Bishop Felton. So I don't think there's any bad energy or bad blood at all.
No. And the truth be told, he's better at saying what he believes without offending someone. My calling is to disrupt. So my approach is going to always be disruptive, even when I'm trying to do it the way that he do it, because my former mentor used to do it the way Felton do it. But that ain't me. I come right through like, no, that's stupid. What you're saying is bullshit. You know, what you're saying is harmful. I don't care. It's not true. That's me.
Yeah.
Or the classic, you stupid.
And see, that's the one that everybody gets ruffled up about. So I try to say, that's Larry's way of saying, he doesn't agree, but sometimes people are like, oh no, oh my God, why did he say that? Well, if that's how you feel, changing the word is not going to do anything. If that's how you feel, it's just how you feel.
Yeah, and then it can be like Travis said, I can be in my comedy bag, which is inappropriate too. you know. So it's just, but he does way better than me with that and saying what he is believing and his convictions and saying it in a way that doesn't offend.
I seen Prophet Lowy drop in earlier. Yeah, he did. He dropped in just for a bit. I will tell you this, Larry. I am definitely taking everything in, and I'm going to be making a really serious choice in the coming weeks and months, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I am. And
I mean, you can do it. You can afford it.
I really can. There's no excuse. Not one excuse whatsoever. I don't have an excuse. If I had an excuse, there is absolutely no excuse outside of, oh my God, once I leave, but I'm gonna try to maintain this apartment and get a new place.
Oh my God. Okay, I understand.
You know how that is, just in case I want to come back home. I want to my apartment. So that's what I'm really trying to work on, so I can keep
two bills though. But Tyesse, it'll be best for you to move to Atlanta.
I will sublet this to somebody.
But then you can buy some investment. And if you're here, I can just show you my whole investment strategy, and you start investing all over the world.
I would definitely sublet this place out, and then let them know. Listen, there is an opportunity for me. If I need to come back home, you got to go. I'm an Aquarius.
Don't you know they would hate that you living in Atlanta and you renting out your other place, because that's boss stuff.
Well, listen, I'm not trying to act like I'm all that, but I do well for myself, and I do save, Larry. I'm a saver, so and so I just want to get another round under my belt, another savings number under my belt.
I see. When you said that, I could see into your account. Okay, so Tyesse, would you need to put all that money in a high yield savings account so you can make money off of it while sitting there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because money has to stay in movement. Really, money is not supposed to be saved. Yeah. If you put it in a savings account, it has to be in a savings account that's building interest, because money is a currency. Your currency. So if it's a currency, you can't see currents. So the money has to be existing in the world to where it stays in movement. And it doesn't have that predictability. That's why money tends to follow investors, because they're taking risk. Money loves the world of risk. It absolutely loves that. But most of us have a totally different relationship with money. We use money for consuming and conservation. Neither one of these is the work of money. We're not supposed to be doing either one with money.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing. One of my particular banks, because my money is diversified. I learned that by watching you and others. They have people. They have like the personal bankers and financial people there at the bank that work with you and walk you through stuff. But a lot of times, Larry, when you go in the bank, you just really not trying to get up in there and get out of there. They be wanting to talk to you, and can we set up an appointment? Can we go with some financial stuff with you? And you like, I gotta go, honey. I'm on my way to where I'm going. So I think a lot of times we need to stop and talk to those people when that's being offered to us, Larry.
I mean, definitely get whatever, let them do. I mean, I throw a little piece of, I'm gonna never forget. I didn't know I was rich before I was rich. They had to tell me. I'm coming to the bank and I was looking. I said, the woman said, "What you need to do?" I said, "I'm just in here just to get a cashier's check." I said, "Why?" I said, "Them bougie folks stand over there in the line for Merrill Lynch, or what is Merrill something?"
Yeah.
Stand over there for Merrill Lynch. I said, them they rich and bougie, and we were laughing at them. And she said, "Well, Mr. Reid, looks like they're gonna take so long. I can do your cashier's check. Come over here to this counter." I said, "Okay," and I came to the counter, and she put up my account. She said, "Oh, I can't. You do this a different way." I said, "What you mean?" Remember the line you said with bougie rich people? That's where you belong. that's where you belong. I'm like, "What?" She said, "Yes, Mr. Reid. Yeah, well, you shouldn't be a regular Bank of America, because you should go over there." Then the same thing happened one day when I was going to my Chase account. What people don't know, the Aquarius, when it comes to the coin, we masters at managing money.
Oh yeah.
Masters.
I could be up in the middle of the night coming out of a sleep, and I know how to move money for a counselor. Move stuff around. It can be dark in the room, anything, you know. One eye open, one eye closed. I can move some money around. Yeah, that we are masters at. That I can say.
Our bills gonna be paid now. We have more than our bills paid.
Yeah, my mother, she always said, listen, if you don't do nothing, go down there and put $1, $5, or $10 on something, right. They will see that you made a payment. That's so right. All these people running around here, you know, with nothing, bills is accumulating. I don't even know how you get your bills in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, what kind of heat was you burning? And you allowed your bill to accumulate like that? So I've always been a build and a rent person, Larry. Always have. You know?
Yeah, and the way that we wired, we don't really like a whole lot of owing this one and owing this one. And, you know, in this political climate, money needs to sit and be saved different times. Absolutely not. See, there's certain words that I see as a Black woman. Let me tell y'all something. As Black people, we're behind the curve when it comes to money. We do not know naturally, and it's even in our blood to not know what to do with money. We have to go through certain kind of things in our mind. That's right. He's quoting one of my quotes. That's why I don't use the word spend with my money. I'm never spending money, because if you spend money, you're ending money. You know, so I don't say that word. I don't say save as well. It's called compartmentalization, sorting. I don't use them terms. And to say that in this climate that money needs to be, what she said, it needs to be saved. No. Yeah, in this political climate, money needs to sit and be saved. Never, ever. And I hope you ain't nobody's financial advisor, because that is horrible. What you need to be doing, you need to be taking money and putting it in a new movement. You do not need to be parking money, and sit and save does not go with money's energy. If you can imagine money being a person, who wants to sit in one place in a prison? When your money is sitting in a savings account, it is in prison. It can never be substantially more than what it is. That's what you get from sit and save. You do not do that. Currency, in order for it to be a current, has to stay in motion and in movement. When you sit and save it, you kill it. You make it opposite of what its nature is to do. Absolutely not. That's probably one of mine from Facebook. Yes, at Facebook. Yes, so that's one of mine from Facebook. Followers. No, ma'am. We don't receive that. Money is like the ocean, is always with me. Yes.
I'm sitting comfortably
in and on my assets. But see, why would you tell somebody to sit and save and you have assets that are in movement? Everyone must do what works for them. There is no one size fits all. Agreed, there's no one size that fit all. But this is a money law. I'm talking money law. You looking at the climate and responding to the climate, which is the conversation I can have with you about that. You shouldn't be doing that. In fact, if you're connected to a futurist, you should have already known the financial climate that we're coming into and was prepared for it. If you've been listening to me in 2020, you will actually have 2 new streams of income, because I told y'all to pivot. And I explained to you guys that you've got to get your whole business in movement. If you have a brick and mortar anything, that is out of order for the future. So you have got to build a click and order, because the brick and mortar is out of order. The click and order is the new normal. So the idea of anything sitting still is antithetical to the future.
I think there's a lot of conversation right now that's generated since November, Larry, and it comes from the old blueprint of how our grandmothers and stuff. And so everybody has been saying, save your money, save your money. We don't know what's coming. And so a lot of us have been taught that for many, many years. Save your money, because anything can happen. But we also saw what happened up in the Bay Area in San Jose with these banks just going out of business abruptly, not even no notice or anything. And then the federal government had to come in and bail them out. So sometimes your money can be in a situation where you can't even get to it, you know, and the government may have to come in and save and bail your institution out. So, you know, just having it just situated is not always the answer, as Larry is saying.
Right, Magnolia Smile saying she never said bank. I guess she responded to Naomi. But I don't want you to think I'm fighting you, Magnolia. My approach may be a little in your face, a little uncomfortable. I'm just correcting you on your language, because the language you're giving is not good for Black people, and it's not good for the money that you do have. If you are in this business of not circulating your money, you're gonna end up in a situation. In fact, if all your assets are on American soil, you ain't set for the future. If all your assets are in the American stock market, you not set for the future.
Yeah. So we gotta really take heed, y'all, and make sure your money is moving and moving often. You know what I'm saying? Not just being stagnated.
One thing we can all do, Tyesse, together as a community. I don't know how many people watching, but what we can do, that's the head of my intercession, and my cousin is like my sister, Latrice, which is Shamako's ex-wife. Yeah. So but one thing we all can do, y'all, for ourselves, every piece of money we got in the bank, move it out of that bank and move it into a bank that gives you a high yield savings option, and put your money in there so it can pay you money every month.
Okay.
So we can all do that. Whether if you don't like stocks because it irritates you and make you nervous, I understand. If you don't want to go get into no house right now, get no property for investment piece of property, I understand. But what you can do is start funding your high yield savings account, or maybe your Roth IRA rollover account. Your like I think now you can contribute $7,000 a year, and so there's a few things you can start just doing like that to do better with your money, but do better by your money. Because remember, your money want to stay in movement, and it needs a mission, it needs a problem to solve. So you need to really change that relationship with your money. Where do we take our money? That's too broad. Today was an excellent day. The person, yes, stocks is on sale.
Wow.
Dropping.
I just joined a small investment group, and now I'm opening a separate account to invest. I listen to Dr. Reid, and now keep my money. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, anybody that sit with me, I used to say 12 months, but my community said, no, make it 36, because the first year you deconstruct it. I'm going to take your money higher. It's just, and I'm not saying that boastfully, I'm saying it really humbly, and I'm thankful towards heaven for that. If you listen to me when it comes to your money and you do what I tell you to do, and then you learn why I'm telling you to do that, you're not gonna need me in 3 years when it comes to your money. You're not gonna need me to say nothing about no money, because you got it. Yeah.
The return is nice each month in my high yield account.
The bigger amount you have in there, the more the yield. It's almost like it's the same difference when you have those stocks that pay a dividend every month. And then in a lot of those brokerage accounts that they give you, like at Robinhood, they actually, if you holding the money in that account there and not investing it, but holding it in their account, they'll give you 5.1% interest on it every month. America, if you got American Express, open up American Savings Account. Those are high yield, they're over 4%. Yeah. How much money are you talking about? It can be $1. But the more money, I'm gonna tell you, one woman sent me a $20-something thousand check. Let me tell you why. Because I told her she was getting $2 million from inheritance after her payout, somebody passed. And she said, well, I want to know what to do with the stocks. You told me to do this, do that, do that. But and this has happened a few times, because people pass all the time and people left money. So she know to do her Taruma. She did her time. She said, but I don't know what to do next. And she said, should I pay off my car? No, do not pay your car off. She said, but I thought I need. No, baby, don't pay it off. You're going to drop this amount of money on it and refinance it at this rate with this credit union. So, okay. Now look over here. Well, I want to pay that off. No, that's what Black people do. We get money. We pay stuff off, but don't even know. That's not how you handle money. Debt is your friend if it's the right kind of debt. And so then I I said, just take the rest and put it in this account. She opened it up. She put it in high yield savings. I said, every month you're going to make some money. I said, but I got it. This wasn't somebody I was coaching. This was somebody I was really giving free advice because it was on my phone and I knew him. And that she started getting payments, thousands of dollars a month. She said, now my money is making money. I said, there you go. And then she sent me $20-something thousand as a seed because she was making all that money on $2 million. What somebody put that in ChatGPT and tell me what she was getting every month. Yeah, I started following you. I couldn't even afford the $8.88. I'm going to not say what my full net worth is now because there is eyes. That's right. And you said move steadily. There's so many people with that test. Man, this Tyesse. See, when you get into your work,
that's what my followers, yeah.
This Joanne has been faithful. Every time I come here, she's over here. But she's been faithful on the platform since I started it in like 2015, 16. So but this is what matters to people like me and Tyesse. Y'all lives changing and being better, whether it's because we made you laugh or we taught you a lesson. This is the kind of work that we are in. That's why we don't need to be worried about these other people who do not have followers, whose lives have been upgraded because of them talking online. They not like us. See, look at that. Letitia, I've seen her in the chat. I don't know how many years.
Let me break this news really quickly, Larry, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
it's very general.
There's both our platforms today.
Yeah, but you have to be mindful. Okay, so we have breaking news, Tyesse Squad. The Hollywood Reporter and Rolling Stone. This is 7 minutes ago and 19 minutes ago concerning Sean Diddy Combs. He has been hit with a superseding indictment, and prosecutors are saying that this is about employees and forcing them to have sexual relations under the threat of violence. So we're not talking about employment, and we're talking about work violations and things like that under a federal situation. So you can go to your different news sources and get the whole shebang, y'all. But Sean Combs accused of threatening and abusing staffers, and a new indictment. This is 7 minutes ago. A second superseding indictment accuses Combs of using threats and physical force to get one employee to engage in sex acts with him. They're wearing him out there. They're not playing with him, I promise you.
But man, I hope that ain't true. If it's true, man, what's up with you? You got some serious fetishes that run too much of your life.
That last documentary, they showed that he was bullied and they really did him really bad in high school. They showed how once he got in power, it's some kind of way that bullied young man came alive with that power. So it's a lot going on. And then a lot of people are saying that it may be possible that a lot of things happened to him from a lot of the people in Hollywood, and that energy passed on to him. All of this is speculation, Larry, but he became what happened to him. He became that to other people. All speculation, but Jesus, this is just too much.
That's weird. If he did that,
not your employees now.
I said you can't be trusted with any measure of power or influence over anybody because you making your employees fuck each other. That is weird.
That is
so weird. That is weird. Oh, Stephanie Peoples done the numbers. So she was getting $7,500 a month just by sitting that $2 million in the
oh wow.
Yeah.
The annual interest. Okay. Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're the only second of the person content creator I've done this with. When Lisa was interviewing me, I jumped it into my live like this.
Well, I am honored. And I appreciate it because
but it's safe. I mean, God know how you do your platform.
Yeah, it's not many people nowadays. People don't link up like this, Larry. Not on YouTube. They don't, because you just don't know what someone's capable of nowadays, and you got to really know somebody's integrity, their heart, their mind, their spirit, everything, because YouTube is a strange beast. It really is.
This is what I'm gonna ask my viewers to do, because Ty has a day, every day has an amount that he does. He does this full time, so we understand that. So this is what I'm going to ask for you to do. Now, this is going to sound strange, and it's going to frustrate your church brain, because the number that I want you to send to Tyesse is at the bottom of the screen. The way to do it is $6.66. Now, if you can do more, put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in front of that 666. And let me tell you why 666. 666 in the European evangelical Christianity, they cause to believe that, like the Bible says, literally, that those three numbers literally is the number for some diabolical something, but it's the number of man. So when you're doing the $6.60 that you're sending to him as a donation right now, I want you to do it as, I'm one of those people. I'm saying with this 666, I'm one of those people that want to hear from content creators like Tyesse, like Larry Live, who make me laugh and make me learn at the same time. So it's the number of man. So as one people, we're going to give the $6.66 to Tyesse platform. Some of us $16, some of us $66.66. But we're going to empower this platform with our donation, and to say that we want more content creators like Tyesse. And for some of you, if you can, you might be able to go with me here, is to do the $6.66 as a seed and not as just a donation. What would the seed be? As $6.66, it's a mankind seed. And so we're going to sow a seed into mankind, representing mankind, into mankind, for a better quality exchange between all humans. And that is what we're attaching to the intention that when we're giving the $6.66. So I want you to also do this to frustrate your church brain. The church has caused you to be scared of the number 18. 8 is the number of new beginning of new beginning and resurrection and transition and wealth. The number 8, because 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So the church has been teaching you against. Look at that, Kirby back. Said I got to do 777. My church brain resist. Fight through that church.
I'm reading right here, Larry. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know that I've always thought 666 was that, and it's saying it right here that there are so many positive associations with 666, including encouragement to refocus, associated with harmony and domestic relationships.
I said mankind seed.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all tell Felton we just had a prophetic moment, and Gabe was in it. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's a lie, and it's a harmful lie that he told. It's a harmful lie.
Oh, y'all, can we? Why did King say? Can we all just get along?
No, we can get along, but we can also say what we call it wrong or wrong.
Yeah,
we have to call it wrong or wrong. That is a harmful lie. So no, sit with that. So
well, yeah, that thing. A lot of people, Larry. A lot of people for years have saw that number as really scary or spooky or something. And, mainly because of what, revelation and what people have preached and how they preached it.
Yeah, they took the literal of the text.
Yeah.
What they did. Man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everybody. I think that was not nothing I was going to ask for, but I thank y'all. And I thank Larry. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Man, when I tell y'all people are giving, I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody's labeling it mankind seed. So thank y'all for putting. Wow, this is
mankind seed. Yeah, exactly.
This is bananas. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I really, really do.
I'm really hoping, in spite of everything that's happened politically, I have hope that mankind is going to get better and better. Although 78 million people voted for Trump, there were 76 that voted for Kamala, and 16 million voters that didn't even vote as they did the last time in the election. I really believe mankind wants change. I really believe mankind wants to move forward and not backwards. It may not look like it, but that's what this seed is all about. It's a prophecy over mankind, and mankind begins to move forward, march forward, since this is March, begin to march forward into the beautifulness of the diversity of mankind seed.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I may get in trouble, but we're gonna have to, as the Democratic side. I'm a registered Democrat, but I'm really considering going the independent route. But strategy-wise, what we have done is evidently, a lot of people are not on board with it. A lot of the politics of it all, and so we're gonna have to go through some type of reformation or realignment with the Democratic strategies, y'all, because there are some things that people say was just a little bridge too far on quite a few topics. And so if you want to expand the tent or expand the party, you got to really, really change things as we move into 2028, right? I got a feeling that things are going to be so off kilter. The midterms are going to switch back over, right? But we need to be on the ground right now preparing for 2028. Grooming, well, that's about getting somebody prepared for 2028. Who that is right now, I don't know, Larry, but they need to start working on that now, because the damage that's being done right now will last for a long time. So it's going to need to be at least halted by putting somebody in position that can turn the boat a little bit, just a little bit.
And then also the midterms. I feel like because everything's so crazy, have you seen the Republicans have these meetings with their people in their areas? How they are booing their own representatives and holding their feet to the fire? Man, I feel like the midterms, everything gonna turn blue.
This is the same energy. These town halls, that's that same energy that the Tea Party was birthed out of. I remember it vividly. Anger, angst, uncertainty. Now you're dealing with my 401ks and my pension and my Medicare. Wait a minute, hold on. We just thought this was about the gays and abortion and and all this stuff. But wait a minute, this is affecting me and my household. So people are. I'm telling you that the midterms are going to be a real revelation to a lot of people. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I feel like is going to be happening. I really, they're cutting up. And in these white areas, when these representatives gone, they are cutting up. I mean, they upset, and I love it, because
the thing about it is, and I know the Southern strategy with Richard Nixon and Goldwater back in there. I know how they operate, with all this kind of stuff, Larry. But I don't know who thought that some of this stuff wouldn't trickle down to everybody, like. And a lot of the stuff, Larry, he told people, like, this is what I'm going to do. He didn't even lie. He said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and now he's doing it. And so I don't know how people extrapolated themselves from the rest of America. And, the farmers are being hit. Everyday people are being hit. And so I listen.
What's bothering me is ain't nobody stopping him. I mean, it's not enough people attempting to, number one, expose it by talking about it. And number two, ain't nobody stopping them.
Oh, well, the Republicans know if they say anything, you will be challenged and you will become Liz Cheney or Adam Kinzinger. You're out of there. So they know if we say anything, then he's going to find somebody, and the next election, you will be challenged, you will be primary, and you are out of there. So everybody is like, we just have to let him do what he has to do. Because it's like Frankenstein, really.
Absolutely. Look at this. This is interesting. Amanda Clark says, my daughter moved to Africa because the food here was killing her. The food here is killing all of us.
Baby, listen. Yeah.
It's killing all of us.
I saw when you were over in Dubai, Larry, and you and Kendall were talking about how the hamburgers taste even at McDonald's, or just the difference in the meat.
Oh, you old enough to remember. You remember kids how McDonald's used to taste.
Oh yeah, Taco Bell too.
That is how, and actually even better, overseas taste. The food, the McDonald's food is the equivalent of when you go to our sit down restaurants and order a burger that's maybe Wagyu beef.
Mm-hmm.
That's the equivalent. The burgers over there at Burger King. So that's how I had that. I did that live when I talking about Burger King messed up my stomach. That was because I had went overseas and was eating fast food. Over here, I don't eat fast food every day, but over there you could. So, and you will lose weight, you know. So I'm eating what I want to eat. When I came back to America, I'm like, oh, okay. I just stayed in the same habit, and then I can do the same. Thought I can do the same thing. I knew I couldn't, but I didn't work. I was hungry and I wanted to taste it, and that burger went in the inside of me. And
I had something like that happen. I had the same thing happen to me with some food from outside. It was a breakfast, and you know, them eggs and stuff. We don't know what they got an egg shortage, so they just put anything and call it the eggs, Larry. It messed me up like 2 days.
Yeah, that thing told me down. And
but I remember, Larry, that we used to go to McDonald's. It was a once a month thing, if I remember correctly.
That's true. That's how it was.
A treat. It wasn't like people go to McDonald's every day now.
That's true. Yeah, for us, it was a treat. It was Aunt Chicken or either Betty Jean, but Aunt Chicken always, she took us when we went to her house once a month and took us and got us all that. It was so good. It was a treat because I come from a family. They cook 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So going to fast food was them having a little break and us enjoying the fast food, but you know, it really became a thing now. You know, anybody cooking like that, really.
No. And the thing about it is when you cook it, you know what you're putting in it. You know, when you getting this stuff up outside, you don't know what all is being involved. Yeah. And high fructose corn syrup is going to be the death of America. Like, really, honestly, it's in everything. Every label has it.
Poison.
We went to Pizza Hut once a month, McDonald's. And the Taco Bell, now it's really basically a laxative. You know, I hate to say it like that. It's a laxative. Yeah. Right. Like as soon as you eat it, you just, you know, I'm not trying to gross nobody out, but that's what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah, if you locked up, go to Taco Bell.
Go to Taco Bell, you don't have to get no X-Lax prune juice, nothing. Just get your burrito supreme. Get your burrito supreme and you'll be okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh so
well, Larry, I appreciate you, brother. I thank you so much. Everybody, y'all that gave, all of y'all, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for hanging in here. Well over 1,000 people at one point. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Tyesse, I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull off Patreon tonight. We just gonna call it a night, okay? Because y'all know when we do these long lives. And then I got to go do Patreon, but you know, we'll see, Tyesse. Again, thank you, Larry. I appreciate you. I appreciate your community, and you know, it means a lot. It really does.
Well, I want to say to you, Tyesse, that you, and I said before, and I'm not trying to polish you, but you really are good at what you do.
Oh, thank you.
It is a gift because I can just listen to you as a pastime in the background of my life as I'm doing other different stuff, and my attention go in and out. But when my attention on it, you're making me laugh. You're saying something funny, or you're telling me something I didn't know that was happening in our world. And the reality is, I think that was what made my platform good. It was like regular kitchen table talk. You come across as trusting, you come across as kind, you come across with good intention and positive energy. I've never watched your show. Well, there was one time, but I never watched your show and got in and it's like, oh, I want to let me not.
Oh, there are times when I have. It's only slop bucket content creator.
Yeah, that's when it's like that.
I can't tap into that where I'm talking about them. But just normally, no, that ain't who I am.
No, it's not. It's not who you are.
If you have Jeremy, I have Let me think of a name. I have Hector, so
Hector.
he, or whoever. Yeah, it can come out when I'm talking about them other bloggers. That happens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's so positive and it's so good. I mean, it's you got it. You just got it. You got it. And so it's easy to come up here and talk and to watch, because 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be good. It's gonna be positive.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And the Larry Reid community is already really deep over here, like they really are. So so whenever you come to the chat, you're gonna see at least 10 LRLers just in the chat, at any given time. So
it's not just LRLers. Those 10 are people that I pastor and that I serve. So that's telling a lot, because that means there's something about what you do that is familiar to them. And I know I'm a good-hearted person, so the fact that they're connected over here, it's just a testimony that you're just a good dude.
I appreciate it. I'm like everybody, I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect, but I am I'm a person. I don't operate out of, there's nothing evil or dark in my heart. So I know that about myself, and I try my best to, do the best I can with what I have, and hopefully people will see that, and light recognizes light, and that's all I can say, really. It's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on, Larry, and for us to join virtually like that is always a plus.
Yeah, we didn't discuss Clarence McClendon and Patrick Wooten, but I guess you're gonna do that after.
Oh well, listen, Clarence played kind of coy with it. He was, dragging Sister Harris slightly at times when he was going live, and people kind of knew what that was about. Like, if you're talking about her and you're saying you're not going to vote for her, well, I'm not going to vote for. I ain't telling y'all who I'm voting for. Well, here's the thing: you're talking bad about her. Are you saying something positive about the other guy? Like, what exactly are you saying? And so, Patrick Wooten from the Church of God in Christ, he basically, has made a whole movement around this anti-abortion thing and the morality of, gay folks in church and whatnot.
And taking back the flag, taking back the flag.
And taking back the flag. And it's
flag like, that ain't even the same color as
taking back the rainbow,
right.
And yes, the rainbow is in the Bible, but the rainbow is also a natural phenomenon that happens, around the world every day. There is a rainbow somewhere. So, you can't copyright the rainbow. It's.
But the gay flag ain't the rainbow. I think the color is different.
Yeah, the colors represent different things, different aspects.
Right. And the pink in the gay flag is not in the rainbow flag.
Yeah.
So what? I swear. The more,
and the gag is that allegedly his son is LGBTQ.
There ain't no allegedly to that. I'm not saying allegedly in front of that. There's no allegedly to that.
So maybe it's personal with him. That's all I can think of. Maybe it's personal, Larry. But Clarence McClendon, like, sir, your church literally has about 40 good people sound like in the background. Wow. You never pan that camera around. So he will never do a 360 with that camera. Neither would. Let's just be honest.
Because you can, it's empty.
They will never turn that camera around and do a whole 360. So y'all should be trying to expand your audience and bring people in instead of all this mess.
I don't hate Clarence McClendon.
I don't hate him either. I don't even know him like that.
I can't with him. He's arrogant. He is also a liar. I know firsthand. Come on, come tell me. He lied to me right to my face, but we was on the phone. And I think that he has this this illusion of grandeur. Yeah, those are my issues with him. His political standing is, what you expect. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Of course, I also have an issue with him with how he handled Carlton Pearson. many years ago. Same issue I had with Jake's concerning it. But
Yeah.
that alone has not shaped the way that I think about him. It's his actions and what he said. It has shaped the way I feel about Clarence McClendon. Patrick Wooten is one of the top 5 best preaching and quartet singing voices on the face of the earth. But his views are harmful to people in the communities that I serve. So I can't get with that. I do find him funny. I do find him entertaining because I don't take him seriously. But yeah, that's my issue with him.
Yeah, and so with Clarence McClendon, I think a lot of people, and you saw it in the videos that were produced from YouTubers. I think the way he treated Pastor Bishop Paul Morton, and the thing that he did with talked about Roland Martin, people really saw him differently after that.
Yeah, but that's him. That's him though.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, Larry. They did not. The word cursing on Roland Martin, talking about he's going have heart issues and stuff. That was crazy. And so a lot of people saw him for the first time, and a lot of people didn't know that.
I'm gonna say this.
Preachers of LA, that's the person that they probably remember. They didn't know that side of him existed, really, basically. So
I'm gonna say this till I'm blue in the face, and I always couple it with my air sign, because just so people know I'm not trying to rag on nobody. But Gemini, and see, Clarence is a Gemini, if memory serves. Them Geminis, bro.
No joke.
Either they good or they bad. Either they are the best or the worst. There's no in between.
Okay.
That's it. And same thing by Aquarius. Either we are great or we are horrible and you need to run from us. That's the same thing with the Gemini. And that's our air sign brother or sister. That them Geminis, and when somebody say they're Gemini, you need to remember, first thing coming to your mind. You remember a long time ago, I told y'all women, whenever you meet a brother, and check and see if that song, no, not right, no, it's not right. I said that song will start playing in the back of your head. I said, but if it start playing, that means something ain't right. When you meet a Gemini, especially a male Gemini, you need to hear me in the back of your head. Watch out. Because you got to start looking for certain things. Do this person talk a lot? All Geminis do. And anybody that talk a lot, probably lying.
Hold on 1 second.
Gemini got a lying spirit.
What sign is Jussie Smollett? Oh, he's a Cancer. He's right on the cusp of Gemini Cancer. He's a Cancer. Okay.
Oh, see that right there?
He's right at the cutoff. He's a Cancer. Wow.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you what the truth is. I don't want the Geminis to be mad because I'm being fair. I'm talking about Aquarius too. Either you good or bad. I mean, because it's just how it is. Y'all got that twin, and the Aquarius have that twin as well, but it's with the planets, Uranus and Saturn. So I understand you as my air sign sibling, but I'm not gonna lie about you. When y'all good, you're the best. When you're bad, you are the absolute worst. That thing that got to be the front and center, got to have the last word, got to be right, got to be praised. And where you can't be praised, you make yourself a victim so you still can get the praise. Geminis, the male Gemini, watch.
I'm a Gemini and I'm an observer in a twin. Okay, reader. All right.
Well, female Gemini a little bit different, but it still applies. You have an overactive mind as a Gemini that can really make you prone to depression or egotism and narcissism. So you really have to, if you're a Gemini, you need a therapist and you need a coach. Absolutely. Because if you don't have both of them, what you're going to end up doing is not manifesting your dreams, and your money going to run away from it, and you're going to do it by your own hand. Because Gemini and money, male Gemini, do not go together. Explain. The male Gemini has an acumen that is registered and inculcated in their character to where they can get the money. But what happens with the money, bruh, you got to stay on them.
I am I know you are, Carrie. I know, sis. Yeah, you're a phenomenal Gemini.
So I said I thought Gemini and Aquarius are compatible. We are. I just said right. Carrie says she's a phenomenal Gemini, and I would have to agree. Very evolved. Yeah, Gemini and Aquarius are they are the most compatible sign pair in the zodiac.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Does that apply to female Gemini?
Yeah, it does. But male and female in any of the signs, if we're born at the same time and you're a woman, there's certain things that are going to be true. But your femininity, which is heavenly, magical, mysterious, and is like God, it puts a different bend on you, no matter what sign it is. So yes, it applies, but there's some differences that are there, definitely. Mm-hmm. You said, what about Capricorn? I find them wanting to be the center of attention and they lie, especially the males. How many Capricorns? Well, Capricorn likes to manage things. So if you find a Capricorn that is lying, they're probably trying to appear as if they are more than what they really are, or they are trying to get something that they really want, so they acquiesce into a persona. But they love to be in control and manage things. If a Capricorn is lying, it's probably lying for attention or to be coddled and consoled.
Okay, I'm in this book that somebody gave me, Larry. The secret, all this, the secret language of birthdays. And so Aquarius, it says fixed air. What does that mean, fixed air?
We're a fixed sign, an air sign.
Okay. So can you explain a little bit more?
Okay, they're fixed signs, they're cardinal signs, they're all broken down in groups. And then there are the mutable signs.
Okay.
So the mutable signs, in fact, hold on. I'm mixing it up. You see, there's so much information. All right. So you have, the air signs, the water signs.
Mutable earth. We got mutable earth, cardinal air.
Right.
Fixed water.
Yeah, but let me explain all that. So you got 12 constellations and you got them they're either an air sign, an earth sign, a water sign, or a fire sign. So that's what I mean. You said what is a fixed air? So I'm telling you the air signs. Okay. So you got the air signs, then you got the earth signs, you got the earth signs and the water signs. So that's one thing. Then those same signs can be broke down in some other groups, which is fixed signs, mutable signs, and cardinal signs.
Got it.
Yeah. So when it's fixed air, it's telling you that it's in these two categories of air signs, and then it's also a fixed sign. So that's what I mean. And a fixed sign, the characteristic of a fixed sign is that we're stubborn and stuck in our way. Basically, we're fixed. A mutable sign, which our air sign sibling Gemini is a mutable sign. A mutable sign. They basically, I'm gonna say that they are flexible, but that flexibility can be instability. It can be wishy-washy because it's mutable.
Got it.
Mutable. Taurus is the earth sign. Somebody just asked in the chat. It's the earth sign.
And so you see the person pouring out water. So they say we're the water barrier, right?
Well, see, you got to think about first of all, the Aquarius is not in the scripture. It's a boy. Because you see the boy with the picture of water, and he go into the city and follow him, which is prophetic of Aquarius has a leadership anointing upon it. And being that Pluto is in Aquarius now, we're in the age of Aquarius for the next 20 years until 2044. So the word of the Lord around the Aquarius is follow the Aquarius. You're supposed to be following the Aquarius and the ways of the Aquarius for the next 20 years. That means you're supposed to be in innovation. You're supposed to be in technology. You're supposed to be in constant movement. That's everything. And because you're going to be growing and exponentially, particularly over the next 20 until 2044. But here in America, we're going to be really making this change over the next 5 years. So you're getting back to what I said. The cardinal signs are Aries because it's the starting of the zodiac. That's first, not January, which will be the Capricorn. But it's April. Aries is a cardinal sign. Cancer is a cardinal sign. Libra is a cardinal sign. And Capricorn is a cardinal sign. So actually, a Capricorn is a cardinal sign. Then you got the mutable signs of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. They're mutable. I would have something to say about all of them, but I'm not. The fixed signs is Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. We are stuck in our way. It's just how it is.
Can't help it. We can't help it.
Yeah. We can't help it. We just are as we are.
I'm an Aquarius. I just had a birthday, and it's definitely a new season for me. Yeah, I had a birthday on the 2nd. Larry on the 13th. Yeah, Aquarius was really, this season seemed like everybody was celebrating in a grand fashion this Aquarius season.
Yeah,
all my Aquarius people, they were either celebrating or celebrating.
I'm still sort of celebrating. Somebody said, Tamara just texted me. She said, "Watch what you say about Virgo." I'm just saying, you guys, you're mutable, and when it comes to the let me define what a mutable sign is. A mutable sign, first of all, that means you come at the end of the season. So this is a good way to remember it. Like we had to do this I have a school of prophets and mystics. So to get them to remember, I say, remember the mutable signs always at the end of each season. So Gemini, that was that June. So that's going to be near the end of spring going into summer. So that's why I let you know that's a Gemini. Virgo, that's the end of, Gemini is Gemini is the end of spring. And then Virgo will be the September, the end of summer. So it's a mutable sign. So mutable basically means you're at the switch over, which makes you versatile, flexible, and adaptable. But also it makes you sometimes unstable as hell. But the mutable Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, the end of autumn. So that's December. That's when the SAG start. They celebrate. Then Pisces, Sagittarius end of autumn, and Pisces the end of winter. And we in Pisces right now. We're in Pisces. We're under the sun sign, Pisces right now. So those are the mutable signs. So that's what it means to be mutable. And to be fixed, it means that you fall in the middle of each season. And you're known for being stable, determined, and persistent. That's where Aquarius are. Tauruses are like that. Leos are like that. And Scorpios are like that. Then the cardinal signs, that means you start at the beginning of the 4th season. So that would be Aries, spring, Cancer at the beginning of the summer, and then Libra, the beginning of autumn, and then Capricorn, the beginning of winter. Yeah, so that's how you can define those signs.
Sagittarius is on the cusp of Scorpio. Okay. I believe Pisces are worse than Geminis, but that's my opinion. Oh, okay. Well, listen.
Well, I know why they say that. Because Pisces live in their head, and they're very imaginative, and they really live in fantasy. So you end up dealing with, if a Pisces hasn't done self-work, they're emotionally unstable. They struggle to maintain any consistency in relationships on an emotional level. But they can be very consistent when it comes to other areas, but when it comes to relationships, it can be sort of tumultuous being with them because they're very emotional. So and they live in their head, and they're fanatical. So in relating to somebody, that can be an issue. So I understand why she says that.
That's why I remember inbox me say Tasha K is a Pisces last. Yeah, I get it.
You see?
Yeah. She is a Pisces. But that's a lot right there, what you just mentioned, Larry. That is
I was married to a Pisces. Lisa is a Pisces.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But what helped is her rising is Aries. And the Aries and Aquarius were very, very compatible.
Okay. I have a lot going on. Sun, Virgo, rising, Aries, Moon, Gemini, Descendant, Libra.
Kelly said, I'm not like that, but I'm very emotional. Yeah. But that's why I'm describing, because it's usually in a relationship where it can be an issue being with you. Yeah, my birthday was February 10th. I celebrated my 50th with my friends of 40 plus years. That you are blessed, 40 plus year friends. Yes, I can sometimes be said, yeah, all the time. You said in your ways. You're go every to the side you are.
They say you have to do something for your 50th, Larry. I don't even have an idea. Like I you know, I have like 11 months to plan it. So
Oh, you 50. Oh wow.
I'll be 50 next February. So I don't know.
You gotta plan something, man.
Oh yeah, I have to do something big, you know, because
that's Jubilee.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jubilee celebration, milestone shift. Oh yeah, this you got to celebrate 50th.
I have to. I'm going to definitely do something, because so many people from my circle, they just did not make it, and so God, you know, has been good and faithful. So I want to have that as some type of theme, faithfulness. I've been a bushwasher watching, but thanks, Larry, for this overview. I literally just read this chapter from my
Hellenic Astrology. See, most of the time I follow the Babylonian, a little bit of Chinese and Hellenistic. So that's great. It's so vast, man. It's so vast.
So I'm learning. I'm just trying to, you know, peek in and try to start understanding this stuff. This is the book that they sent me. Look how thick this book is. I cannot.
Oh, what's the front? Let me see the front.
The Secret Language.
Who the author?
I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, Gary Goldschneider and Juice Elfers.
I'm not familiar with them. I got
yeah, one of my followers just sent it to me randomly.
That's great. They sent you that. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you one that I think I suggest to everybody in my community. This one right here on astrology.
Oh wow.
The Secret Language of Astrology by War Gillette. This, if you want to learn, I think it's a great place to start. Then before I tell you another book, but this is a great, because like some of the stuff I'm saying off the top of my head about the planets and stuff, this gonna take you. It's gonna tell you about your sign, your planets, and even your houses. I think it's gonna show. Let me see. Yeah, it helps you interpret your whole birth chart. This Roy Gillette, The Secret Language of Astrology. And some of y'all that do tarot card readings, you need to learn this. It'll take your tarot card reading to the next level. Because see, the tarot card, the cups, the swords, and all of them are connected to the constellation. And you have to know how to. You'll be able to help more people if you have more knowledge when you're doing those tarot cards. You have to have astrology knowledge.
So does a Virgo and Aquarius do well in companionship?
Well, it depends, because that's the thing. You can read these horoscopes that give you compatibility, but how they come to that information, because you have to know more than just your sun sign. Your sun sign is just going to tell you the probability of who you are and who you show up as. But your moon sign, that change, your moon sign is important to know. And you also need to have a relationship with the moon, because the moon changes every 28 days. You know, so this is really going to show the word of your emotions. Who are you emotionally? And so you need to know your sun sign, moon sign, rising, and your descendant. Your descendant is going to really give you direction and partnerships. So to even say, well, my sun sign is Virgo and my sun sign is Aquarius, are we compatible? You're not wrong for doing that, but you need to know those other four signs, especially descendant, because that's going to show you who you will work good in pairs with. And like I said, that Lisa's rising was Aries. My descendant is Aries. So that was the glue. That is still the glue that holds us in relationship. because she's a rising Aries and I'm descendant Aries. So that means I connect in relationship with those that are in the Aries sign, whether that's their sun sign, rising, moon, or descendant, will be a fit.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I learned, the risings and the settings, Larry, and the moons and stuff.
You're right, though. The rising and setting is the ascendant and descendant.
Okay, right. I'm almost there. I'm learning.
From the rising of the sun unto the setting of the same. That rising and setting is an astrology conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This, if you understand that, you start looking at when Jesus died. You look at some of the other events of the Bible. But oh my God! Even Easter follows the moon. You really, not the moon. Follow it. Yeah, that's right. The moon gives us how we know Easter is a floating holiday, and yes. So when you start learning all that, you're gonna look at Christianity today. Wait a minute, this ain't nothing but astrology. You exactly right. Okay. The Son of God. So your sun sign, SUN sign, is your SON of God.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you about your Son of God status. Your sun sign, SUN. See, in Christianity, the Son of God, Jesus Christ, Son of God, all that comes from looking in the stars and seeing the sun as the biggest celestial phenomenon. And they call that God first. But when you begin to see Jesus show up as the Son of God, is because what ended up happening, two things. Number one, they saw the sun as God's creation, so it became the SUN and the SON of God. But then when they discovered the bigger constellation, Sirius, I want to say, somebody check that. They began to see that. They said, okay, now this SUN is actually the son of a bigger God, which is this bigger constellation. This is indigenous spiritual understanding, and that's how Christianity, first Judaism, but Christianity began to be, and then later on Islam, began to be practiced in that same triune, tripartite, and because we tripartite, all of that is connected. So when I hear these preachers talk about the sun and the moon as demons, like Philip Mitchell and Brandon Jacobs said in their pulpit, and I talked about my platform, you let me know you don't have any education. Because Christianity, Christ himself is the SUN of God and is a constellation. This is how come they follow him to see his birth. He's written in the stars himself, and he's written us in the stars.
Kirby, come here, Kirby. Kirby, get the mic from her, from Aunt Kirby. She said, we triggering Bishop Felton right now. I cannot.
He shouldn't be triggered. We don't get triggered by him. We just be like, we don't want to hear that, or we don't like it, or we disagree and continue to enjoy the other stuff he said.
For whoever it says is demonic, go read your Bible. To read a spell or two in Psalms. Interesting.
Right. Oh, you cutting up, Lakeisha. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm.
Well, what a joy divine. The LRL community and the Tie Squad community all in one place. Talking about a vast majority of things, y'all. I'm gonna eat something. Tie Squad, can I be honest with y'all? I don't think we're gonna be able to do Patreon tonight. I don't. I'm just being honest. So why don't y'all just pretend like this was Patreon? You know, and we'll try again tomorrow. We'll start fresh in the morning. Okay, Tie Squad. I love y'all, but yeah, we're gonna have to call it tonight because whenever I have anybody on and it's somebody like Larry or whoever, y'all know we're gonna run a little long because the conversation has legs and like this. So I appreciate y'all.
So I guess we sign together.
What'd you say, Larry?
I said I guess we can just sign off together because I think it's gonna stay on my platform whether I'm on or not, ain't it?
Okay. So after I okay, we'll have to do it together. And then maybe
if you don't need to do that, let me see if I can figure out a way to disconnect it while we maybe I can figure that out.
I think we have to go at the same time. I think, I'm not sure.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, and it's okay because I can just come back and talk to the Tie Squad separately.
Okay. All right.
I just come back and talk to them just for a few minutes, and then I'll go on with my evening. So to the LRL community, thank y'all. Everybody, I appreciate you. All the time squad member, I'm gonna come back around here and talk for about 5 minutes tops. Okay. All right.
You come on your main platform or in Patreon?
I can't do Patreon. I've been here for 3 hours and 46 minutes. I don't have the.
Okay, all right.
But
all
yeah, I appreciate you, brother. I really do. And for letting the people sow into my, or telling the people to sow into my platform, I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Top Squad. I'm getting ready to go. That was an excellent live. Excellent live. Everybody, I'm sure, got something. Again, Bishop Felton is, always welcome to come to the show. And, we just have certain things that we probably just going to stay away from talking point wise, right? We're going to stay away from certain talking points. But yeah, enjoy Larry, his perspective always, and opening up his platform to my platform. It is truly a blessing. All right, everybody. I'm going to come back around here in about 5 minutes. You can keep talking. You don't have to stop it. Oh, okay. Good. All right. Wow. Okay. I don't have to stop it. Okay. Okay. So tonight was Behind the Groove, y'all. We don't have to stop it. God, look at God. Oh, he's good. So I ain't got to come back around here. Okay. So tonight was Behind the Groove, everybody. And it's a music show that we do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to postpone it. We're not going to cancel it. But, we're a little bit behind right now, y'all. And I want to go watch Beauty in Black. Now I'm salty. Why are you salty, Sarah? I don't even have the show produced Behind the Groove. So we can't go behind no groove if I don't have a groove. You say, now I'm salty. Why y'all stopping? Sarah, we've been here for 3 hours, baby. We've been here for 3 hours and 48 minutes, Sarah. Okay, well, how long did you want us to stay, Sarah? All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Still live on LRL. I'm still live? Thank you for sharing. Okay, I may be still live, but I'm going to get out of here. What a great show. Thank you Thank you so much. Okay. Sarah Anderson many years ago as a result of watching Sean. Okay. I listen to both Bishop Felton and Larry Reid for perspective. I don't dismiss either. Thank you. That's all I want, Rita. I want everybody to be able to get along and if you don't agree, you can just disagree. I'm going to watch Two Mother. Why don't we all have a Patreon event right now? I feel some people are a little salty right now. It's okay. Why don't we all have a Patreon event where we all go watch Beauty in Black together and pretend like we're in Patreon? You're live on my platform, Ty, but you keep going. Oh, no. No, I gotta go. I'm gonna go because I may begin to ramble, Larry. So I'm gonna go, but I may check back in with a night musings, right? Let me get 2 episodes of Tyler Perry's show under my belt, and then I'll come back. I promise. Thank y'all so much again. Thank you, Larry Reid, for inviting us to join your platform virtually. And we're gonna get out of here, Ty Squad. And I will see everybody possibly in maybe 7 o'clock my time. That'll be 10 o'clock East Coast. Okay. Have a great night on purpose. And we're going to do a little music and we're out of here. It is copyright free. There we go. Cue the music. What's going on with the music? Okay. Cue the music band. We got the band over there. Okay. The music is not playing. All right. Why is it not playing? Do y'all hear any music? Is it because I'm on another platform? Oh my God, I can't play music. Okay, let me see. Okay, Lashika, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Lashika. Hit the subscribe button and please hit the thumbs up button if nothing else. All right. Thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate it.